Look this year, it is mid-September, our first look at the #1 team in the nation as they play their first home game of the season, Chris.
Oh, Steve, it's not a coincidence this game is being played on a Saturday. It is a college football atmosphere here. The #1 ranked team in the country in St. John Bosco, a packed house, welcomes in the defending Hawaii state champ in Kahuku. I don't think there's anyone left on the North Shore tonight. They traveled well.
That's right.
Expect a street fight tonight. It's all about Ohana family for Kahuku.
Well, Kahuku, as you mentioned, the defending state champs from Hawaii, they feel this is the best team that they've ever had there. That's saying a lot. However, do they have enough depth to win this game remains the question. They have some weapons. Let's start with running back Clyde Taulapapa.
That's right. Thunder out of the backfield. Taulapapa is a force. He has great hands out of the backfield, and he runs hard downhill. He's going to get a lot of yards after contact. They have Lightning on the other side. He is a Thunder for this dynamic duo out of the backfield. Taulapapa is a force to be reckoned with.
How about on the defensive side of the ball? Lianga Leifau is Texas-bound. He's a great linebacker.
Yeah, Lianga Leifau comes hard off the edge. 4-star recruit, you mentioned, committed to the University of Texas. He gets the scoop there. They're going to have to double-team him because he's going to be in the backfield all night long. Watch out for number 10.
Let's talk about Bosco. This year, just one quarterback. Caton Hauser off at Michigan State, so it's Pierce Clarkson's team.
And Pierce has done a great job taking the reins, not splitting time with Caton Hauser anymore. You mentioned he's at Michigan State, the son of the great quarterback coach Steve Clarkson. I love Pierce's game, how it's progressed this year. The vertical passing game. You see the dual threat that he is. Yep. Maybe the next Lamar Jackson. He's committed to the University of Louisville. But it's the vertical passing game that's got better this year, the horizontal passing game, and then his decisions and reads in the RPO, the run-pass options. I really like what he's doing with this team. He's really become the leader. He owns it, and one of his weapons is Mateo Uiagalelei. The tight end runs great routes, has dynamic hands, and what I really love about Mateo is he's a dependable blocker. Look at him come off the edge as well. He can put his hand in the dirt, move inside, 7 technique, 5 technique. You see the blind side there. He is dynamic off the edge. He can also drop into coverage. Reminds me of someone I played against in Julius Peppers. Watch out for Uiagalelei.
That is one heck of a comp, partner. It's going to be one heck of a game tonight. The #1 team in the nation versus the defending state champs from Hawaii. We're roaring to go from Bellflower. Kickoff is next.
The World Poker Tour is back. Top players from around the globe battle with millions on the line.
He got it.
The World Poker Tour. Watch all season long on Bally Sports.
Born player to hit for the cycle. It's June 13, 2019. The Angels versus the Rays in St. Pete. Top of the first, Ryan Yarbrough pitching. Shohei digs in. Yarbrough delivers an 89-mile-an-hour fastball.
Kiermaier going back and at the wall. Gone!
Ohtani's second at bat, he smokes a double to left center on the first pitch. In the top of the fifth, he has a stand-up triple down the right field line, setting the stage for history in the top of the seventh.
There's a base hit, and Shohei Ohtani has just hit for the cycle.
Shohei Ohtani became the 7th Angels player ever to hit for the cycle, the first since Mike Trout in 2013. Shohei Ohtani made history in St. Pete, becoming the first Japanese-born player to hit for the cycle. If you don't know, now you know. That's Gooby's Halo History Lesson.
The Ford's JF Southern Section Game of the Week is brought to you by SoCal Ford. The Southern California Ford dealers are proud to sponsor high school athletics. Built Ford proud. Can't get enough of the Haka. It is the Trinity League versus the USA tonight. #1 in California and the nation versus the Hawaii defending state champs. Let's begin our coverage by heading down to the field to say hello to Anna Conley. Anna?
Steve, you mentioned it a little bit before, but this is the 3rd annual Trinity versus the USA Showcase. Now this year it's a 2-game series featuring Mater Dei and Bosco taking on the #1 and #2 ranked teams from the state of Hawaii. Last night Mater Dei took on Mililani, the #1 ranked team in Hawaii, and then St. John Bosco, of course, taking on Kahuku tonight. Now remember, Bosco hasn't played at home so far this season. They traveled out of state twice, while Kahuku hasn't played on the mainland, football on the mainland, since 2019. But don't be alarmed. Head coach Sterling Carvalho said about a quarter of his team has never been to the mainland. However, he emphasized how his fans travel well. Teams love having them come and play them because they're guaranteed a sellout crowd. And guys, this crowd is insane. They were in the parking lot tailgating starting at about noon today. And then, Steve, when the gates to Panish Family Stadium opened up at 6 today, this crowd, this Kahuku side, Red Raider Nation, was full by about 6:20.
Thank you, Anna. Sterling, his team's off to a 5-0 start, but without the reigning Hawaii Offensive Player of the Year tonight, Utah-bound Kai Carvalho. And then Jason Negro, 13th season. Lots of frequent flyer miles through the first month of the season, going to Texas, Oregon, coming back here for the home opener tonight. I'm fired up, partner. How about you?
Let's go. It is a college football atmosphere. We talked about it, Steve. It's all about Ohana family. Everyone's come from the North Shore. Our teammate Greg Biggins loves his team, loves his community, and get ready for some fireworks and a street fight tonight, partner.
St. John Bosco won the toss. They'll defer. Kahuku gets it first. Mana Carvalho is back deep along with Manulele Ayu, and it is headed to Carvalho, and he slips down just shy of the 20-yard line. And that's where we'll get our first look at the Kahuku Red Raiders offense under the direction of their senior quarterback, Vika Crawford.
And I really like Vika Crawford. He's protected the football this year, 7 touchdowns. No interceptions. He's a leader, so much so he didn't go to any camps this summer, Steve. He didn't want to miss any reps in practice, get working on his reps, the chemistry with the teammates. Really love his athletic ability. He's mobile, he's smart, but he's going to have to get out and move the pocket tonight with this fast and physical front of St. John Bosco.
Color rush game here tonight, partner. Kahuku was going to wear whites. They wore them last week in a win over Crawford in a driving rainstorm. They had to launder them 4 times. They were still dirty, so they called up Jason Negro and said, do you mind if we wear the reds? And he said, sure.
Love the heart of Coach Negro to let the away team wear their home jerseys.
Drive starts at the 19, and Crawford connects with Mana Carvalho, and it's a short little gain. Second down coming up. Your offensive players to watch for the Red Raiders?
Well, for me, it's Vika Crawford, the quarterback. How about Kingsley Ayu, the receiver on the outside? These guys are dynamic. Starting already, hit your man in the slot. Little soft coverage in the slot from St. John Bosco. They're going to have to tighten that up. And Crawford, for me, he's got to be dynamic in the pass game because of the running game that Kahuku presents.
Gain of 4 on their first offensive play. 2nd and 6 up at the 22-yard line. A little pistol here on their second offensive touch. Crawford had a little bit of time as the pressure came. He goes forward for a yard. Will bring up 3rd and long. Defensive players for the St. John Bosco Braves.
That's right. For the Braves, it starts with number 11 off the edge, Mateo Uyunglele, the younger brother of DJ Uyunglele, coming off, dropping into pass coverage, and then Peyton Woodyard off the back end. Very smart, a student of the game, great in coverage. He can also come down in the box for run support. Really like number 7 in Woodyard.
Going to get a chance to see how the Red Raiders are on the road on 3rd down here. Again, the defending Hawaii State Open Division champions. They're the number 2 ranked team in Hawaii, but if they get it done with Liliani losing yesterday down the road to Mater Dei, if they pull the upset today, they'll no doubt be number 1 when they return tomorrow to the islands.
Look at that trip set, bunch to the right.
On 3rd down, Crawford fires too high, looking for Manulele Ayu. Incomplete, and they have to punt. It's a 3 and out for the Red Raiders on their opening drive.
Ball was a little high, and not surprises behind. Manulele Ayu, the fastest guy on the team, the leading receiver for Kahuku. That's one that Crawford would like to have back, a little high and a little behind.
So the Red Raiders are going to punt the football away from deep in their own zone. Eric Denham is back deep here at the 50-yard line for the Braves, who will wear the blue jerseys. Carvalho will punt. This is Mana, the younger brother of the offensive player of the year last year in Hawaii, who's out with an ankle injury. This is not going to be fielded. It'll bounce out of bounds on the far sideline where Kahuku is about the 45-yard line. So it'll be good starting field position for Pierce Clarkson, Louisville-bound senior quarterback.
That's right. Really like Pierce Clarkson, son of great quarterback coach Steve Clarkson, who I had the pleasure of being under in high school. Louisville commit. This is his team. He's the leader. He's gotten more vocal. He's ascending. He's getting better every week. We mentioned it, the horizontal passing game, the vertical passing game. They go play action. They go bootleg, screen game. And his decisions in the run-pass option game has gotten better. Really like so far what I've seen this season from Clarkson.
Drive starts in plus territory at the 45-yard line for the Braves. The #1 team in the nation, #1 in California. Clarkson just gets rid of it and connects with Chauncey Sylvester as he fights his way to the first down marker. And he gets it, move those chains. Offensive players to watch for the Braves.
Well, #1, that's why he's my #1 offensive player. He keeps his eyes downfield, hits his check down in Sylvester. Also, DeAndre Moore, the transfer in from Los Alamitos on the outside. Committed to Louisville as well. Great chemistry with him and Clarkson. He is dynamic. He's got some swag, and he's going to get yaks tonight.
They're running, and that is Sylvester, the junior, and he's got a big hole. Runs for another first down. Brought down by Junior Toilolo, the hybrid safety, the senior. All right, defensive players to watch for the Kahuku Red Raiders.
Well, for me, it starts for Leona Leifau, #10. He's committed to Texas. He can drop into coverage, come in, has great run fits, can also come hard off the edge. And then it's Stanley Ross, inside the interior lineman, getting a push as well.
Clarkson throws on the wide receiver screen, hooks up with DeAndre Moore, who's also Louisville bound, and he fights his way down to the 13-yard line. Brock Fanoy-Mawata making the stop, the senior safety.
Hey, we just talked about the swag that Moore brings, the yaks yards after contact. He should have been taken down around the line of scrimmage, pushes forward, pumps the legs, and get about another 4 or 5 yards.
They have 3 Louisville commits on this team, along with Clarkson and Moore, who just connected there. Jaleel McClain, another wide receiver, committed to play for the Louisville Cardinals in the ACC. Second down, and they give it to Sylvester. He tries to get the edge. There's a penalty marker, and he's hammered down at the 10-yard line. Hold everything. Jerry Troutman is our referee tonight.
Holding. Offense number 11. 10-yard penalty from the start of the foul. Replay second down.
So they get the tight end, Mateo Uiagalelei, there for the first penalty of the game, and that'll back St. John Bosco up 10 yards from the spot of the foul.
Well, it's a stretch play. They're trying to go horizontal, and Sylvester just needed one more block on the outside by Izzy Polk, number 19. But as you mentioned, they got Mateo on the hold.
Depth will be a big question for Kahuku in this one, and it might level the playing field if Bosco is committing these types of fouls. Back it up 10 yards. Brings up a 2nd and 15.
Too high look for Kahuku.
From the 21-yard line on the zone read, a keep by Clarkson, and he's back inside the red zone, down at the 18-yard line. Max Fanoy-Mawata, the younger brother of Brock, a converted defensive end, makes the stop.
Reads a defensive end, felt he came upfield, so Clarkson keeps it. But good job by the interior, not letting Clarkson get in the second level. He's a true dual threat. If he gets out in space, watch out.
Back to that depth thing, Kahuku might just play 25 guys max.
Yeah.
And for the Braves of St. John Bosco, they may play 25 on defense.
Keep an eye down at the bottom of DeAndre Moore, one-on-one coverage, no safety help.
3rd and long. Clarkson has plenty of time, just lobs it up to the 5, and it's Sylvester with a catch. He's got the first down, and he's out of bounds around the 2-yard line. Oh, Chauncey Sylvester averaging 20 yards per carry. He's doing a great job of the passing game here tonight, partner.
Little wheel route up the right side. Perfect timing and delivery to Sylvester. He's able to get by the linebacker, and Clarkson gets it there on time before the safety gets over to make the big hit. 1st and goal Braves.
Heck of a conversion there, 14 yards.
And in that heavy set, 2 backs.
This might be Cameron Jones territory. Instead, they give it to Cameron Jones. And the transfer from Centennial is in, but there's another penalty marker. Hold everything here. As you look at number 20, he averages almost 10 yards per carry. Only needed 2 there on 1st and goal. And Jones indicates that the penalties are going to be against Kahuku. Let's see. Again, Jerry Troutman and his officiating staff here will tell us as they get it sorted out.
The result of the play is a touchdown. The penalty is a 5-yard face mask penalty on the defense. Will be assessed on the kickoff.
All right, so the 5-yard face mask penalty will be assessed on the kickoff, but Jones in from 2 yards out here for what's his 5th touchdown of the season.
Yeah, again, you got that heavy set. You had 2 backs leading the way for Cameron Jones. Get a great push up front.
Here's Marcus Lee. He's been perfect on extra points, and he continues to be 20 for 20. How about that? You get a short field, punch it in from 45 with the starting field position. Jones does the final 2.
Magical weekend.
I think that's a power up there from Kelly Patterson.
It's all in the cards.
Is it the right mathematical play?
The most prestigious poker tour is back.
He puts him on a strong hand. He's going to fold it.
The World Poker Tour.
Really well played hand.
Watch all season long as top players from around the globe
Applies a lot of pressure.
battle in pulse-pounding poker action
Her aggressive style continues to pay dividends tonight.
with millions on the line.
It's bananas how good we are.
The World Poker Tour. Watch all season long on Valley Sports. Kick off your weekend with college football on Valley Sports.
And it is caught.
Every week, the ACC is out to prove it's a conference to beat record.
Are you kidding me?
Top-name school,
Into the end zone.
premier talent,
My goodness.
and fierce rivalry.
It is caught.
Who doesn't have something to prove?
Touchdown.
ACC football all season long on Valley Sports and streaming on the Valley Sports app.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a 4th ha.
Well, Kahuku came a long way, and they brought a lot of people, so they need a proper introduction to the folks in Southern California or watching throughout the nation. School founded on the North Shore, 1897. Here's your notable alums. I didn't realize it. Jack Johnson, I've got a couple of his albums.
One of my favorites, Curious Short soundtrack, one of the best.
It makes perfect sense now. And for St. John Bosco, this is opening night for them, established in 1940, all-boys school, enrollment of 855, and their notable alums, Nomar Garcia-Parra, and then, of course, DJ Uiagalelei, the starting quarterback at Clemson. Josh Rosen now continues to remain in the NFL.
What great support Coach Negro here has at St. John Bosco, the administration, everyone. It's really been a team effort. He has built a machine here in Bellflower.
Braves get it done on their opening drive. 6 plays, 45 yards. They survive a penalty. Took 2:20 to get on the board and get the first lead. And with that penalty against the Red Raiders, 5 yards on the face mask, Marcus Lee will be able to move this football up to the 45-yard line. And again, Mana Carvalho is back deep along with Manulele Ayu.
This is where you try to make a field goal in case you need to make a 50-plus to win the game.
Yep. This is Carvalho, and it goes over his head.
Close.
For a touchback. Rick's radar and the keys to the game, partner.
Well, first thing for me on my radar for Kahuku is Crawford has to be dynamic in the passing game. You know they're going to be able to run the football with Taulapapa and Fanoti, but can they get it done in the passing game with the pressure that Bosco is bringing? On the other side for the Braves, they have to force to be one-dimensional in that passing game for Crawford. If they can bring that pressure, shut down that run game, force them to pass it, that's the biggest key for this Braves defense.
A 3-and-out for Kahuku to open the ball game. Gave it back to St. John Bosco in a short field. Cameron Jones, 2-yard touchdown run, which was his 4th of the season. So the second drive here will begin in the pistol. First down and 10 back at the 20-yard line after the touchback. And this offense is usually pretty good. Play action. And throwing it toward the sideline is Crawford. He was looking for Mana Carvalho. It's incomplete.
Well, Carvalho looked like he was even and leaving, like he was going on a fade. He got by coverage, but Crawford was expecting to come back on the comeback on the outside. So that's just quarterback and receiver not being on the same page. Carvalho could have been by on the fade, so look for them to come back to that.
Red Raiders enter play tonight, 5-0 to start the season. We're talking about their offense. It's high-powered. 38 points per game is what they average. 321 yards of total offense, and they're pretty balanced, too. But so far in 4 offensive plays, looking a little shaky. That'll happen against the #1 team in the nation that plays about 25 guys on defense. Yeah. Here's a handoff and a run, and it's Clyde Talupapa, a senior. He's gained almost 300 yards on the season, 6 touchdowns. He's got an Army offer.
And speaking of Carvalho, it's a family affair running this offense. A head coach, Sterling Carvalho, his brother, Stuart Carvalho, lead this offense, and coordinators a shotgun. They run the zone read. They go under center, I-backs, and they'll run at St. John Bosco. These guys came for a fight tonight. They will not be intimidated. They will not back down. It's just a matter of all the rotation, all the depth that Bosco has. Will Kahuku be able to hang with that depth of the Braves?
3rd and 7, and again, Kai Carvalho, the senior Utah-bound, not playing, injured, had ankle surgery, had 2 screws put in. They're hoping to get him back by the playoff run. Here's a throw out left, and a catch made, and trying to fight his way up toward the first down marker is Manulele Ayu, which is his 16th catch of the season.
Again, the fastest guy on the team, little 3-route combination. Crawford does a nice job recognizing soft coverage, throws it in the flat. And you see Ayu laying his head down, getting close to the marker. It's going to be 4th and short. Looks like they're going to punt it.
Yep, that'll be the 2nd consecutive 3-and-out if they, in fact, do punt it away here. Mana Carvalho will do the honors back around the 13-yard line, takes the high snap. Denham is back, and this one is going to be fielded by Denham at the 40. Has space in front of him. Gets a block. Cuts back at the 30. Down to the 15. And is out of bounds inside the 10. Let's introduce you to Eric Denham. Got an offer to join Campbell and play as a college player, and they're going to get a good one. A 53-yard return, partner.
A really nice job by Denham running to his left. That's a hard catch to make. And then look him get to the edge. The little stutter step, able to get by coverage. Almost took it back to the crib. Great return by the dangerous Eric Denham.
And then a flag comes out late, and so marks this one back.
Holding on the return team number 25. It's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. It'll be first down.
There was a holding on Frankie Edwards III. He's a junior. And so 10 yards from the spot of the foul, and the hold was pretty early because it's going to back them all the way up now.
Backbreaker for the Braves.
My goodness, to the 33-yard line, their own 33.
Speaking of coordinator, Stephen Lowe, one of the best in the business, collaborating with Coach Negro. Multiple offensive looks. They got the power run game with their 3 running backs, horizontal and vertical pass game as well. And his receivers has been rotating in, playing very well this season, Steve.
Big break for the Red Raiders. 1st and 10. This is Cameron Jones. Cameron with a C, and look at the strong run. Man, it takes 4 Red Raider players to get him down.
Talk about a hard downhill runner, Cameron Jones, just dragging Red Raider defenders with him. Nice job. He got pulling guards up front. You had Sean Haney pulling, getting out in space. And then it's all Cameron Jones. We talk about the depth. St. John Bosco has so much depth. They have 2 Cameron Jones on the team. One a running back, and then Cameron Jones with a K, number 88, one of the wide receivers.
And they're going to Cameron with a C again, and a C opens up the parting of the Red Sea, if you will, and he runs for a first down.
Nice, partner. Yeah, you got to credit this offensive line. They rotate 9 and 10 guys in, a ton of depth up front, and it's not just the ability they have, Steve. It's the coaching, working the technique. These guys can come off the left side, the right side. You got to credit coaches James Adams and Freddie Aratago with how they do with this offensive line, coaching them up.
1st and 10 from the 47-yard line. Braves at their own 47. Clarkson, plenty of time, throws sideline and connects there with DeAndre Moore. And it's Aiden Manutai, a sophomore, who gets him out of bounds. And we were talking to Sterling Carvalho earlier this week. He said, we're going to start Manutai on DeAndre Moore because they played together and against each other in Las Vegas on 7-on-7 drills.
And he's covering him. And you saw a big cushion there. It was nearly 10 yards. So good job by Clarkson, recognizing the cloud coverage, a lot of space, and just taking the outside hitch to Moore.
2nd down and short. Clarkson. And he just overthrows the intended target, Eric Denham, who had that nice punt return called back. So it brings up 3rd and short.
Well, and the reason why he missed that, he was trying to hit the seam route, but Leonga Leifau did a great job dropping into coverage. Clarkson recognized it, and he had to throw it away from the defender, and that forced it to be behind his intended receiver. If Leifau doesn't drop in coverage, that's an easy pitch and catch. So good job protecting the ball there. Kind of a back shoulder, us or nobody ball from Clarkson.
Can the Red Raiders get the Braves off the field for the first time tonight? I know it's early. 3rd and 2. Here's Cameron Jones. He's got another first down, and he's to the 34-yard line of the Red Raiders.
That is a big back coming up the A-gap. And right now, Kahuku just not has the size. You see they have a man right there, just not able to break down and wrap him up. And you can't get a shoulder on him.
They're going
great
quick.
Run by Jones.
Trying to catch the Red Raiders off guard, and they do. Kahuku almost didn't get a sub off the field. Stanley Ross, who's a BYU commit, makes the stop of Cameron Jones. You might recall last year was Speedy Luke, right? The diminutive one getting through. He's now playing at Arizona. Now you get that bruising back in Cameron Jones, who played last year for Matt Logan at Centennial.
And just like Speedy Luke, Jabari Bates, and Mikey Hayes, a very unselfish running back group here at Bosco.
On 2nd down, Chauncey Sylvester now in at the running back. They play fake to him. Clarkson rolls out and dumps it right to Cameron with a K. Or, nope, check that. That's going to go to the tight end, Max Stober, rather.
Stober rotating in with Uiagalelei. Good play design. He comes from the left side, leaks out in the flat. When it's open, they're going to give you the short yards, take it. You see the strength of Stober there getting the best of Leonga Leifau, the Texas commit.
What a spoil of riches you got. Talked about depth. You got 2 guys in each position. 1st and 10 and early movement. Looks like Sean Naa, 6'3".
False start on the offense, number 74. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
And it is Naa, 6'3", 303-pound seniors replacing Ernest Green, who moved on to the college ranks at that left tackle spot. One of 10, perhaps 11 interchangeable guys that Jason Negro can use. And, oh, by the way, remember Raymond Polito was here, the Alabama commit, but left late in the summer to go back to Apple Valley High School.
Look at Polk in the slot, uncovered. That's an easy hitch or bubble route.
Polk wears number 19. He's got 7 catches for 112 yards and a touchdown.
I mean, that's just stealing right now to Polk in the slot.
1st and 15 here for the Braves. Even playing behind the chains has not hurt them here in the opening quarter. Just inside of 4 to go.
Hard count.
And that's going to be a delay of game.
Good discipline by the front of Kahuku.
Dead ball, delay on the offense. 5-yard penalty.
Now it's a first down and 20 back at the 30-yard line. Not too daunting for the #1 team in the country.
Well, this is what you get. If you have that trip set, you go horizontal with Izzy Polk in the slot, you go vertical with DeAndre Moore, and then you high-low the coverage on the outside. It's very hard to stop these fast, dynamic receivers in single coverage. Right now, Kahuku in a 1-high safety look, man across the board.
Kahuku's defense only allowing 9 points per game through their first 5 games of the season. 1st and 20. Clarkson, well protected, takes a shot down the field, and it gets picked off. Intercepted. He was looking for Maher, and it's Brock Fonoy-Mowana on the return, and he's to the 26-yard line. DeAndre Moore brings him down, but a huge, and I mean huge, takeaway for the Red Raiders.
Well, this time, Brock Fonoy-Mowana does a great job reading Clarkson's eyes. He had a shorter field to cover with the ball being on the right hash. Pierce was looking to the right, just read his eyes, and drifted on that vertical route from the backside seam in the slot position. A little high and a little behind, 2 things you don't want to be over the middle. You know Dad's going to have a word with Pierce when they watch the film tonight, but a great job, instincts by Fonoy-Mowana, the Utah commit, to make the interception.
Just the 3rd time that Pierce Clarkson has been picked off this season.
Yeah, he's done a great job protecting the ball.
Empty backfield for Vika Crawford on a 1st down and 10. Their first 2 drives were a 3 and out. Looking for their first down of the game. He's protected. He throws into coverage. A juggling catch made by Mana Carvalho. He's got some space, and he's finally brought down in Bosco territory at the 32. Jordan Lockhart with a touchdown saving tackle. I mean, partner, they brought everyone across the way. There'll be plenty of surfing spots open tomorrow on the North Shore.
And coverage was there. Look on the left side. It was great coverage by number 1, Marcellus Williams. The only thing that beats it is the location. He puts it on the outside shoulder away from the defender. That is a next-level throw from Micah Crawford. He leaves that anywhere inside. That's pick 6 for Marcellus Williams.
37 yards and a first down. The first of the game for the Red Raiders on sudden change. They get a big play.
And that's Mana stepping up for his older brother, Kai, who's out with that injury you mentioned, partner.
Yep. Mana came in, 14 catches, 185 yards, and a touchdown. Big play there.
4 wide receiver set. Look at that quad bunch to the right. You have some movement up front by the receiver on the line, number 7.
That's going to be a false start here. They're going to get Manoa Hallams, a junior.
Yeah.
Dead ball. False start on the offense, number 7. 5-yard penalty.
That's his first year in the program here for Hallams. He's a transfer from Miliani, who played last night right here. So either way, if he would have stayed at his home school or come here, he would have been playing here in Southern California. Back him up 5 yards, and now the Red Raiders play behind the chains.
Folks, just watch the route combination, the explosion from this quad wide receiver set. You got 3 for Bosco covering 4.
Crawford, 7 touchdowns, no picks on the season. He's a 59% passer. Here comes the blitz. He throws left, and Carvalho made the catch but absorbed a huge hit from Marcellus Williams.
Well, Williams is a great cover corner. I really like
It's all in the cards.
Is it the right mathematical play?
The most prestigious poker tour is back.
He puts him on a strong hand, he's going to fold it.
The World Poker Tour.
Really well played hand.
Watch all season long as top players from around the globe
Applies a lot of pressure.
battle in pulse-pounding poker action
Her aggressive style continues to pay dividends tonight.
with millions on the line.
It's bananas how good we are.
The World Poker Tour. Watch all season long on Bally Sports. Kick off your weekend with college football on Valley Sports.
And it is caught.
Every week, the ACC is out to prove it's a conference to beat record.
Are you kidding me?
Top-name school.
Into the end zone.
Premier talent.
My goodness.
And fierce rivalries.
It is caught.
Who doesn't have something to prove?
Touchdown.
ACC football all season long on Valley Sports and streaming on the Valley Sports app.
Magical weekend for Casey Patterson and Chase Budinger.
I think that's a power up there from Kelly.
Patterson is the man.
We have over the top.
They are the kings of the beach.
And cheers to the champ.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
After you joined our family, it was like, I really do feel complete now.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
After you joined our family, it was like, I really do feel complete now.
Being prepared is a part of who you are. But it's especially important in the case of a disaster. Be informed about possible emergencies in your area. Make a plan that covers where you go in an emergency. Build a kit with the things you need to survive. There's no one more capable of planning for your situation than you. Start your plan today. Go to ready.gov/myplan.
It's been said that there's no place like home. And with the best homegrown talent, covering the biggest sports stories in your hometown, The Rally is your home for all you need to know about everything happening in sports. The Rally. There's no place like home.
The most prestigious poker tour is back.
He puts him on a strong hand, he's going to fold it.
The World Poker Tour. Watch all season long as top players from around the globe battle in pulse-pounding poker action. All season long on Valley Sports.
It's been said that there's no place like home. And with the best homegrown talent, covering the biggest sports stories in your hometown, The Rally is your home for all you need to know about everything happening in sports. The Rally. There's no place like home.
Allow me to set the stage. It's June 6, 2000 in this very ballpark. Bottom of the sixth, San Francisco Giants up 3-0 over the Angels. Video operators played a scene from Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, and a clip of a monkey jumping up and down. The crowd loved it. The Angels scratch across the run. Now it's 4-1 San Fran. Bottom of the seventh, the monkey returns on the Jumbotron. Benji Molina and Darren Erstad deliver RBI singles. It's now 4-3 Giants. Let's flash forward. Bottom of the ninth, San Francisco leading 5-4. All-star closer Rob Ned on the mound for the Giants. The primate is back on the big screen. Erstad with an RBI single to right scores Adam Kennedy. We are tied at 5. 2 batters later, Mo Vaughn walks it off with a single to right. The Angels win 6-5. That day, Katie the Rally Monkey was born.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This year, it's about defending the title.
The old guard with a new trophy. Orange County wins the USL Championship.
The goal for Orange County Soccer Club every year is the same.
We're a club that first and foremost want to compete for championships.
Thomas! A shooting star for Orange County.
Watch OC Soccer Club all season long on Valley Sports SoCal.
High school sports are one of the things that make living in California so great.
But sometimes the behavior in the stands can overshadow our achievements on the field.
No one should feel insulted or ashamed
because of their race, ethnicity, or gender.
And remember that refs are people too.
They're trying their best to call a fair and correct game.
Hey, and enough with all the swearing.
We should be able to hold our heads high after the match, win or lose.
It's been said that there's no place like home. And with the best homegrown talent,
we bring in our front office insider, Steve Phillips, Pat Garrity. We got Josh Cribbs.
Chip Gary.
Let's get right into it.
Covering the biggest sports stories in your hometown, The Rally is your home for all you need to know.
Really quick, is he the rookie of the year?
Yes.
Anyway,
yes.
That is my question.
About everything happening in sports.
This is what I enjoy, Russ. This is what I enjoy.
The Rally. There's no place like home.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm going to drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
My text-to-emoji ratio has gotten a little out of hand.
A little?
Yep.
Get ready to meet some of the best high school athletes in America this week on Sports Stars of Tomorrow. We'll introduce you to 3 terrific young quarterbacks, one from Southern California, one from Michigan, and another from Colorado. We'll also stop in Georgia for one of the rising stars in girls soccer. And don't miss our journey to greatness with Green Bay Packers great
Braves lead at 7-0 coming out of that timeout. We apologize for any technical difficulties that we are having here tonight. We're going to push right through it. Steve Quist, Chris Ricks, Anna Conley with us. They're with you tonight. And for the Red Raiders, good timeout called there by Sterling Cavallo, because he knows that we have to take a TV timeout. He doesn't have a very deep team, right? So Braves lead at 7-0 coming out of that timeout. We apologize for any technical difficulties that we are having because of all the energy, the buzz in this stadium tonight. Right through exactly. Second Chris Ricks, Anna Conley with us for the Braves. They're with you tonight. And for the Red Raiders, good timeout called there by Sterling Cavallo, because he knows that we have to take a TV timeout. He doesn't have a very deep team, right? So Braves lead at 7-0 coming out of that timeout. We apologize for any technical difficulties that we are having here tonight. The energy, the buzz in the stadium tonight through exactly. Second Chris Ricks here, third drive with us for the Braves. With you tonight. For the Red Raiders, a little bit too long. Timeout called there by Sterling Cavallo, because he knows we have to take a TV timeout. He doesn't have a very deep team, right? Braves lead at 7-0. Exactly. Chris Ricks here, third drive with us with you tonight. For the Red Raiders, a little bit too long. Called there by Sterling Cavallo, because he knows we have to take a TV timeout. He doesn't have a very deep team, right? Braves lead at 7-0. Braves lead at 7-0. Braves lead at 7. Braves lead at 6. Braves lead at 6. I thought trouble with the handoff right there. Bosco's had 10 first downs to just 1 for Kahuku after Jones got it. He gets it again on the reverse. Now it comes to Moore. Moore's got a head of steam. Moore is in for the touchdown. A little trickery, 6 points for the Braves. DeAndre Moore's 4th touchdown of the season.
And shot out of a cannon, partner. They faked the run into the boundary and the reverse to Moore. No one was going to catch him.
Marcus Lee has been perfect on extra points. That continues. 14-0 with 7:48 to go.
Take a look. You give it to Jones into the boundary. Moore comes across. Pierce Clarkson's out to block. Didn't even need it. Just the all-out speed running in space. You're not going to catch the Louisville commit. Dynamic. And as I mentioned, shot out of a cannon out of the backfield. An easy run for number 3, DeAndre Moore. Nice play call by Stephen Lowe, the offensive coordinator for Bosco.
That's a 10-play drive, covered 87 yards, 401. And so, with 7:48 to go here in the first half, it is 14-0 St. John Bosco Braves. And again, they had them stopped on 3rd and 2, then the 4th down and 1 coming out of the timeout. And just couldn't get them stopped on 4th down as you look at the Louisville commit.
And you got to credit the offensive line. I mean, this Kahuku front is a big front. They were able to get that push on 4th down, and Cameron Jones was able to move the chains, get him a fresh set of downs, setting up the touchdown.
New kicker now, Ignacio Fonseca Jr.
The lefty.
It's going to be fielded by Manu Lele Ayu, going right. And, of course, this St. John Bosco team, it doesn't matter if it's offense, defense, the backups, the third-string guys, special teams, they got some speed. And right there, they stopped the progress. That's Ty Lee, one of their starting safeties that made the stop. And so you feel at this point, Kahuku's got to get some points here to stay in this thing. This is going to be a huge, huge drive here for Vika Crawford and company.
And then they've been able to move the ball and get yards. It's been the penalties that have hurt them, and they just haven't been able to capitalize and finishing their drives.
They've won 15 consecutive games. They won in a downpour last Saturday night over on the Islands, beat Campbell. They're going to get field turf next year, just like Bosco has. So won't be... They'll be able to come next year with the white jerseys if they so choose. Just say that. Showed up with a lot of fans here tonight, though.
That's where I think you got to roll the pocket a little bit by Crawford with the pressure that Bosco is bringing.
Another new look. They fake the dive, and Crawford throws long, and it nearly got intercepted. It's Aaron Williams. They were looking for Manu Lele Ayu. There is a flag resting at the 45, however.
Late flag comes in the area of pass interference on Williams.
Pass interference on the defense, number 4. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. The result will be a first down.
So penalty on the Braves. They've had some issues with penalties here in the first half. And that gives the Red Raiders a first down up at the 38-yard line. At this point, the Red Raiders will take it.
Right now, Bosco in their even front, 4 men up front, 4-2-5, 5 defensive backs in their nickel package.
Out of the pistol. And there's a run. Looks like it's Clyde Talapapa again. The senior came in 47 carries, 262 yards. The second time that he's run the football here.
Talapapa with an Army offer. Reminds me of another running back who used to play in this stadium, George Halani. Used to be a dynamic back for the Braves, now getting it done at Boise State.
Talapapa's brother is starting running back at the University of Washington after starting his career for the Virginia Cavaliers.
Yeah.
2nd and 4. High snap. And nothing there on the run. They're going to wind up losing a yard. And the stop made by Josh Lefotu, 6'4", 305, a senior. That was the first carry of the game by Malai Finoti, a junior.
And Kahuku had 2 offensive linemen from the right side pulling, but then you had 2 guys from the backside of Bosco chase down from behind and make the tackle. So because they vacated that area, it allowed Bosco to chase down the running back and make the TFL the tackle for loss. Here's where I think you get Crawford out of the pocket and give him a pass run option utilizing his athletic ability. Money down right now for Kahuku.
Big 3rd down and 5 for the Red Raiders. Crawford, pressure comes from the edge. They're going to get him. They get to him. Uyunglele gets there, along with Devin Bryant, who's going to Washington.
You're going to see Mateo on the left side. Look at the technique. Getting by number 77 in Robeck Rupp. And then you mentioned Devin Bryant coming from the right side, just closing the gap on Crawford. He's not able to go anywhere.
Big sack, big loss. 4th down and 12. And Carvalho will have to punt. Back deep again is Eric Denham. Uyunglele is a kid that's not committed yet. Didn't have much of a spring, didn't have much of a summer, but has had visits to Oregon and Ohio State. Also USC.
And Mateo's got offers from everyone everywhere. He'll be able to pick his school, as I rate him the top defensive end, tight end in the country.
So Kahuku now on 4 drives has had 3 3-and-outs. And you just can't win against the #1 team in the nation that has so much firepower if that's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I don't know what adjustments you make, partner, other than, you know, try and get a takeaway. You got a takeaway early in a pick of Clarkson. This drive starts inside the 30-yard line for the Braves. Clarkson hands it off. Khalil Warren, and Warren is stopped after a gain of about 5. Runs into Leonga Leifau, who's Texas bound.
So many receivers rotating in for St. John Bosco. 6 to 7 wide receivers. I mentioned how unselfish this running back group is. Same thing for this wide receiver core. Very unselfish. Don't get as many touches as they'd like, but rotating in and working very well this season.
4th drive of the game for the Braves. 2 touchdowns and a turnover. Clarkson, plenty of time, fires left, catch made. DeAndre Moore, he goes up to get it. He's got a first down near the 50.
Take a look at the hands of Moore. A little bit of a misfire from Clarkson, a little high and behind. You want this ball up and away on the out route. Moore says, I got you, snags it. Sure hands, moving the chains for Bosco.
Gain of 16 and a first down. If you remember that name, he played at La Salle with Malachi Nelson. Makai Lemon. He was part of that 3-headed monster that at the time was headed to OU this time last year.
Yes.
Khalil Warren running for about 9 yards. And, of course, those guys all flipped over when Lincoln Riley left OU, came to USC. Moore departed. He came here. And then Lemon and Nelson flipped. You had a chance to see that Arena Bowl game they were involved in on Thursday night.
Yeah, what a shootout on Thursday. And as a Florida State Seminole, I'm not looking forward to seeing Pierce Clarkson and DeAndre Moore in a few years at Louisville. Florida State got the close win last night, but bright future ahead for both of them.
Second and short. Clarkson keeps on the zone read and then cuts back down to the 36. Call it the 37 for a first down here for the Braves.
I'm so happy and proud of Pierce. Known him since he was a little kid. Again, working with Steve Clarkson as my private quarterback coach. And so many young men have had the privilege of being coached by Coach Steve and even Pierce, the son. And Coach Steve Clarkson, so proud of his boy, committed to Louisville and the career he's had, and now really taking over the reins at St. John Bosco.
Getting pushed a little bit by Caleb Sanchez, a 6'3 junior, but making plays. And here's Warren again running left, and Warren has another 5-yard pickup or so. And move that clock. It continues to roll, 3:25 and counting, and they're on the drive here, trying to go up 21-0 near the end of the first half. Very businesslike, isn't it?
Makes it second down.
And right now, it's really pick your poison for Kahuku. You try to key the run game, they hit you out in space with the pass, you drop guys into coverage, they're just running it down their throats. So St. John Bosco having their way right now.
Second down. Clarkson, pressure comes, ducks it, takes off, has the first down on the far sideline, cuts back again, and they finally get him down around the 16-yard line.
Nice job by Clarkson recognizing man coverage, a lot of turf in front of him. He's able to get out in space. You think he's going to run out of bounds to stop the clock, cuts back inside. He's looking right, but feels that big gap as a quarterback. You got to feel that grass, that turf in front of you. Look at the athletic ability. Again, going to Louisville, maybe the glimpse of the next Lamar Jackson.
Madden Soliai came back to get him.
And how about DeAndre Moore blocking on the edge for his quarterback? That's what the best receivers do. It's not just about their catches and their touches, but it's blocking downfield for running backs and their quarterback.
Soliai, the only freshman on the varsity for Kahuku. His dad's a coach. Quick little throw and underthrown to Khalil McLean for an incomplete pass. Something that Pierce Clarkson didn't do much of at Autzen Stadium against the 6A champs, Central Catholic of Portland. He was 8 for 8 was Clarkson for 175 yards and 2 touchdowns last week in Oregon.
Yeah, talk about a rout on the defending state champs from Oregon. They had their way. Caleb Sanchez, you mentioned his name. The young quarterback was able to get in. Known Caleb for many years. And on that one, he just tried to hit the quick hitter up the seam. Came out of his hand a little funny. That's one he'd like to have back.
2nd and 10. They're running it, and it's Cameron Jones with the C, and Jones going to power his way downhill for about 8 yards. Red Raiders having a hard time stopping the run here in this first half. Here comes some big substitutions on.
And it's all credit to that offensive line of Lutke up front at the center, Talanoa, Sean Haney, Sean Naa, and then King Large at the right tackle position, getting a push up front every time on this big, strong front of Kahuku.
Inside of 2 minutes to go, 3rd down and short for the Braves. Trying to punch it in for the 3rd time in this first half. Jones is the running back. Jones gets it, puts his head down, spins, and has enough for a first down to finally get him down inside the 5. Boy, he's a strong running back.
I was just going to say, Steve, I can't believe the strength of Cameron Jones. Earlier, he dragged Stanley Ross, the strongest on the team for Kahuku, and that time, Leonga Leifau, the Texas commit, couldn't bring him down. He was right there in his run fit, and you saw Cameron Jones just run right through him.
This week, Cameron Jones picked up an offer from Louisville. So he's the 4th guy on this Braves team. Invited to play at Louisville. Play action, throw right, catch made. And that is a kid that got an offer from Georgia this week. How about that? Kingston Viliamuasa with a touchdown catch. They ran him in, a substitution in that package, and they reward him for his great play. And last year, the kid, I mean, he was out all last year with a torn knee, and he had to have ACL surgery, and it was a tough year because as a freshman, he was part of the team. And so you like it when he comes back, right?
It's so great to see Kingston smiling on that. So many personnel groups, they run, they set it up, and then Viliamuasa is able to leak out in the flat. Great job by Stephen Lowe, setting it up with the power package and the run that brings everyone up in the box, and Viliamuasa is able to slip out for the touchdown pass.
That took 356, took 9 plays, it covered 71 yards. And Clarkson, who had an interception earlier in this game, has his first touchdown throw, which is his 7th of the year. Coming up at the half, Joey back on campus. He's actually back on this campus.
Yeah.
I had a chance to see Joey B. So he'll take you through a couple of segments and highlights from Mater Dei Miliani yesterday here in Southern California. And then that game I talked about, what is it, Arena Bowl 7 that you called, Santa Margarita against Los Alamitos. There was over, how many points were there total?
118 total points, 69-49. What a shootout that was with future Trojans. Malachi Nelson, Makai Lemon, we've mentioned their names tonight. Santa Margarita, my alma mater, put up a fight into the fourth quarter. One of the best games of the year. You got to credit Coach Ray Fenton and Los Alamitos for pulling away in the fourth quarter in that shootout.
Yeah, there was still 9 minutes to go in the third quarter when it was my bedtime party. I really wanted to watch it.
It was a long one.
Here's Ayu. This is Manulele Ayu, and he fights his way up toward the 25-yard line. Here's Clarkson, is 9 of 13 for 80 yards in that touchdown a moment ago. It's 21-0, and Kahuku's going to possess the football for a 5th time and likely a final time of this first half. They've got 1:15 to go and only one timeout as they place the ball down at the 14-yard line.
How about that kickoff coverage that time by Jordan Lockhart? The junior getting down fast in coverage, able to bring down the return man.
He's a phenomenal player. This bears repeating. Kahuku, 4 drives, 3 3-and-outs.
Yeah.
So you got to get some first downs. They had 1 first down on that final drive of the first quarter. They had that big 37-yard play.
Yeah. Empty set.
Crawford looking right, throwing that way, and connects at the 32-yard line.
And I think that's going to be the key in the second half for Kahuku, is getting the ball out quick, limiting the reads and the time that Crawford has to make. Another empty set, no running backs, obvious pass situation with the exception of a quarterback draw.
That time, Leonga Leifau came in on offense and made the catch. They throw out right again. A first down catch is made. And that time, it is going to Aiden Manutai. So now they're using a lot of guys from the defensive side to play the other side of the ball. And those guys you would think would be gassed, right? They've been on the field for much of this night with all the real estate that Bosco has chewed up on their 4 scoring drives, or their 3 scoring drives, but 4 total drives. There's another catch by the Texas-bound Leifau. He's part of their hurry-up offense here. 35 seconds and counting.
Something else this Bosco defense prides himself in is tackling. Last play, Marcellus Williams, this time Tamal Johnson bringing the hit stick from that star position.
Empty backfield, they got to hurry. A lot of time coming off the clock. 22 seconds, 21, 20 when they finally snap it. 4-man rush, a connection to Manu Carvalho, and he's out of bounds for a first down, stopping the clock.
And they still got 1 timeout left. Got a chance for a couple shots downfield to try to get a catch, a pass interference. Maybe at least try to get 3 before going into the locker room.
16.5 seconds to go on a first down and 10, right at midfield, the 50. Carvalho's been outstanding wearing number 2, trying to pick up for his older brother Kai, who's Utah bound, trying to pick up the offensive slack.
Yeah.
Uyunglele's coming from the edge without his hand down. They block him momentarily, and that pass incomplete. Looking again for Leifau.
Well, that ball was between 2 of receivers. Between number 2 in Carvalho, and then actually number 10, Leifau, as you mentioned, is out there as well, the linebacker. It was evenly between both receivers. Not sure who that one was going to.
Trying to at least maybe get into field goal range.
Yep.
They're still got that timeout in their back pocket, so they can throw if they want down the middle of the field here.
And look at Bosco with 6 defenders. They're in that dime package. It's hard to find space.
2nd and 10, 4-man rush, throw out right. It is Carvalho, and he gets run out of bounds on that far sideline. Taken out by Marcellus Williams. Another catch by Carvalho.
Get a chance for 1 shot. You're out of field goal range. I think you go quad set you have. Send everyone deep to the end zone. Roll the pocket with Micah Crawford. Throw a jump ball into the end zone.
Yep, they're going to drop R.J. Jones Senior safety way back deep, and a timeout will be called. Red Raiders will use their final one. 5 seconds to go. They're at the Bosco 42-yard line, and as you mentioned, time for one more big Hail Mary play.
You got to credit the defense for Bosco in this first half. Defensive coordinator Chris King, longtime championship coach here. The pleasure of playing for him my senior year at Santa Margarita before he came over to Bosco. Pitching a shutout right now, just being in the right places, bringing pressure, and not allowing this Kahuku offense to get in the end zone so far.
Let's look at the Max Preps national rankings while we have a moment. St. John Bosco sitting on top, modern day, the defending national champs. This Kahuku team is 34th in Max Preps when I showed up today and took a look. And they are second in the state of Hawaii, behind Miliani, who lost yesterday to Mater Dei. So it may remain 1-2 if the Red Raiders can't rally from down 21 to win it here.
Yeah, I know Bosco has the ranking of #1, but I'm with our teammate Greg Biggins. Last year, Mater Dei won. They were the champs. They haven't lost yet, so I think they should still be one. But we'll find out in a few weeks who the #1 is when Bosco and Mater Dei meet.
Time for a Hail Mary. Crawford's 10 of 14, 85 yards. Crawford, and he overthrows his receiver at the 2-yard line, looking for Brock Fanoi Moana, and incomplete, and that is it. No flags, and that's the end of the first half here at Panish Family Stadium in Bellflower. St. John Bosco with a 21-0 advantage over the defending Open Division state champs from the state of Hawaii. And they get it done. 2 rushing touchdowns, a little trickery in there, and then Clarkson finds Asa to make it 21-0. And let's check in with Anna, who's with Jason Negro. Anna.
Coach Negro, you said as long as Pierce Clarkson sticks to the game plan, we're good. How do you assess his ability to stay in system in the first half?
I think he's done a really good job of distributing the ball to our playmakers, and we're running the ball really well, which is opening up the quick pass game. He's done a really good job. I expect him to do more of the same in the second half.
You know Kahuku isn't intimidated. You know they're going to come out firing in the second half. How do you maintain pressure?
Well, we just got to kind of contain them. The Carvalho kid's really good in the slot. He can make some plays, and they're tough kids. They're physical up front. They can handle our front a little bit man for man because they're so big. But I thought we were doing a pretty good job of getting some pressure on them. We stopped the run game. We just got to continue to play the way we're playing and cut down on some of the mistakes and the penalties.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thanks, Hannah.
Oh, and Jason's team's going to get the ball first coming out of the locker room to start the second half of play. A whole lot of running for St. John Bosco. 3 touchdowns in the first half. #1 team of the nation leads Kahuku 21-0.
Magical weekend for Casey Patterson and Chase Budinger.
I think that's a power up there from Kelly.
Patterson is the man! Him over the top. They are the kings of the beach. And cheers to the champ.
Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
It's all in the cards.
Is it the right mathematical play?
The most prestigious poker tour is back.
He puts him on a strong hand, he's going to fold it.
The World Poker Tour.
Really well played hand.
Watch all season long as top players from around the globe
Applies a lot of pressure.
battle in pulse-pounding poker action.
Her aggressive style continues to pay dividends tonight.
With millions on the line.
It's bananas how good we are.
The World Poker Tour. Watch all season long on Bally Sports.
Being prepared is a part of who you are. But it's especially important in the case of a disaster. Be informed about possible emergencies in your area. Make a plan that covers where you go in an emergency. Build a kit with the things you need to survive. There's no one more capable of planning for your situation than you. Start your plan today Go to ready.gov/myplan.
Back at Panish Family Stadium, where the St. John Bosco Braves are up 21-0 over the Kahuku Red Raiders. Every week, Prep Zone digital reporter Joey Virgilis shows us the best the Southland has to offer on Friday nights. Well, this week, Joey was literally back on campus at his high school alma mater.
We only part to meet again. This week on a very special episode of Joey Back on Campus, it's a homecoming for me with my orange, white, and blue tribe here at Westlake High School. I'm bringing my show to my alma mater where I had some of the best times of my life. And luckily for me, Valley Sports gave me a show where I never have to grow up. I'm fired up to be on the warpath again and ready for some Warrior football. I know I have more to give. I got eligibility left. I want to make an impact on this game tonight. I'm going to get out there and show them I got it. I'm reliving my glory days. Can I do some warm-ups with y'all? I swear to God, I'm ready.
Who is this guy? Go.
You better watch out, man. They're going to put me in the game tonight. You guys are going to go on the bench. I'm coming in for you.
Are you ready for me?
I'm with it.
Hey, come on, turn it up! Turn it up, close the mic!
Before kickoff, the Warrior community honored the famed 1982 football team.
It's been 40 years. It certainly doesn't seem like it. The relationships have stayed, and we just kind of picked it up since, like, we never left.
It's really wonderful. I haven't seen some of these people in 30, 40 years. Great to see the young kids playing. I'm having a really good time.
All of a sudden, you see somebody and you pick up right where you left off 40 years ago, and you're talking about the old times and what it meant to us.
The tribe is a Westlake family. The Warriors, we're all one big family. It's important for us to celebrate 9/11 of all the amazing people that served us and the lives that were lost.
My favorite part is just feeling all connected. You know, we really are like a family out there, and I think we like to celebrate together.
A lot of things changed here at Westlake High School since my time here. The one thing that hasn't changed is the friendly face of Rick Kelman.
Other than my immediate family, there is nothing more important to me than Westlake High School, the community, and especially my boys and the coaches. I am the most blessed man in the world to get to do what I do. And I can tell you, if I won $5 billion, I could never quit. Joey, you know, this is my family. I need them.
What we learned here tonight is once you're a warrior for life. I had an unforgettable time going down memory lane here at my alma mater. Hey, Coach, I'm ready to go in. You ready? Can I go in?
No, dude, no.
Well, right now, I'd love to bring in my Prep Zone Live co-host and host of Joey Back on Campus, Joey Virgilis. Joey, thank you for joining us tonight. Now, I got to start. How has Joey Back on Campus been going this year?
Well, I got to tell you, one week we went up on a gondola, 8,000 feet up in the air, and then another week we rode a horse, because Petros Papadakis told us to ride a horse, and the horse's name, Joey, which is perfect. And then we tried Polynesian kebab out of J. Sarah, so I feel like it's a little bit different each week, but overall having a great time wherever we go.
Hey, well, last week we just saw you go to your alma mater, Westlake High School. What was that like for you?
Right, a magical time for sure. I actually have a nephew going there right now. Shout out to Carter. But that whole day we went down memory lane. I threw on my old helmet, ran around on the field, warmed up with the team, ran out of the tunnel, and then just reconnected with a bunch of people who have known me my whole life. And, pretty much just a nostalgic time the whole night. Loved it. I'd go back every week if I could.
Hey, I know you would. I think my favorite part of Joey Back on Campus is the food you try and the lack of food that you've tried. Tonight, you've been running around. Has this Hawaii presence given you any food that you haven't tried tonight?
We tried chicken and pineapple that they had like an extra flavor kick to. I can't remember the real name of what they gave me, but like in terms of Kahuku, Red Raider Nation have welcomed me in. Like we were with them at their team hotel, hung out with them there. Then we went to the pregame tailgate, and I didn't want to leave anybody out, Anna. So at the pregame tailgate, we have chocolate macadamia nuts, come from Hawaii, compliments to the Kahuku tailgate. So for everybody on our broadcast crew, feel free to try some chocolate macadamia nuts, and I hope you enjoy it.
I'm going to definitely dig into these. These are so good. Coming back, me and Joey review some highlights from the past 2 days of Prep Zone games.
I'm bringing back...
Kick off your weekend with college football on Valley Sports.
And it is caught.
Every week, the ACC is out to prove it's a conference to beat record.
Are you kidding me?
Top name school.
Into the end zone.
Premier talent.
My goodness.
And fierce rivalries.
It is caught.
Who doesn't have something to prove?
Touchdown.
ACC football all season long on Valley Sports and streaming on the Valley Sports app.
Magical weekend for Casey Patterson and Chase Budinger.
I think that the power up there from Kelly
Patterson is the man. Give over the top. They are the Kings of the Beach. And cheers to the champ.
Taught me how to be a leader. 80% of women leaders played sports growing up. But girls drop out of sports twice as often as boys. Let's help our girls lean into sports and leadership.
My 100% all-white meat spicy chicken strips are back. Look at them sitting there. Just sitting there. Can't believe we hired a director for this. Spicy chicken strips starting at $5.49 are back at Jack in the Box.
The Ford CIF Southern Section Game of the Week brought to you by SoCal Ford. Southern California Ford dealers are proud to sponsor high school athletics. Build Ford proud. By Jack in the Box. Spicy chicken strips are back at Jack in the Box for a limited time, starting at just $5.49. And by OC Auto. The Orange County Auto Show is back with hundreds of the hottest new cars, trucks, EVs, and more. September the 29th through October the 2nd at the Anaheim Convention Center.
Back in Bellflower, where the Bosco Braves are up 21-0 over the Kahuku Red Raiders. Joey, last night Mater Dei was here playing Mililani. I know you got some highlights for us from that game, huh?
Indeed, from Bellflower here last night, game one of the Trinity League versus the USA. Mater Dei taking on Mililani. The Trojans early on scoring first, but Monarchs answered with 42 straight points. Here you go with one touchdown out of the 42. Big touchdown run for the Monarchs. Second quarter, we move on to action. Mililani up 7-0, but now it's Elijah Brown, the fourth member of our Prep Zone Live crew. Elijah Brown throwing for a touchdown. And then finally we cap it off. It's Jordan Davison, who had 213 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns. Mater Dei would roll 42-14.
Hey, let's head it over to the Valley. Notre Dame Sherman Oaks versus Orange Lutheran. Friday night on the Prep Zone. OLU hosting Notre Dame. Lancers in the red zone. TJ Lateef, 5-yard touchdown pass to AJ Law. This time, second scored, Lateef finds Ben Alafayo, 31 yards for the score. 14-0 OLU at this point. Notre Dame cuts the lead to 14-7, but then Lateef gets the ball to Jackson Wang out of the backfield. But don't forget OLU's defense grabbing that safety. Lancers win 37-14, Joey.
Santa Margarita on Thursday night with Los Alamitos. 7 lead changes in the first half. Jackson Potter to Emmett Mosley, who had a 63-yard touchdown. Potter, 479 yards, 5 touchdowns, and a rushing touchdown. Big opening half for both teams. I hope you took the over. Ensuing kickoff, LA, Los Alamitos, Makai Lemon, 95 yards. Bye, baby, goodbye. Kickoff return to the crib. Later in the second quarter, Malachi Nelson to Lemon, that deadly combination, 65 yards for a touchdown on the night. Malachi, 235 yards through the air. Makai Lemon, 12 catches, 184 yards. Los Alamitos is up 35-38 at the half, and then the opening play of the fourth quarter, Damian Henderson capping it off, 55-yard touchdown run.
Be sure to catch me and Joey every week, Wednesday at 4 p.m. on Prep Zone Live, and tweet at us at Prep Zone on Twitter, at prepzone.tiktok on TikTok. We want to hear from you. We want you to be a part of the show, don't we, Joey? And we want you to tweet at us and give us some top 10 highlights. We got our top 10 plays of the week every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Be sure to check out Prep Zone Live. Coming back, Steve and Chris will have us back in the second half.
After you joined our family, it was like, I really do feel complete now.
Magical weekend.
I think that's a power up there from Kelly Patterson.
Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear. Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
When it comes to a lung cancer diagnosis, you need to know the facts. Fact, in the United States, over 25,000 black men and women are diagnosed with lung cancer each year. Fact, lung cancer continues to be the leading cause of cancer deaths among black men and women. Learn all that you can on lung cancer screening and clinical trials by visiting standuptocancer.org/lung cancer. Because fact, change is possible, and it starts with you. Fact, in the United States,
it's been said that there's no place like home. And with the best homegrown talent,
we bring in our front office insider, Steve Phillips, Pat Garrity. We got Josh Cribbs,
Chip Carey.
Let's get right into it.
Covering the biggest sports stories in your hometown, The Rally is your home for all you need to know.
Really quick, is he the rookie of the year?
Yes.
Didn't even.
Yes.
That is my question.
About everything happening in sports.
This is what I enjoy, Russ. This is what I enjoy.
The Rally. There's no place like home.
Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear. Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/.
Team of the nation leads the defending state champs from Hawaii, Kahuku, 21-0. All you need to see the upper right column, right? 202 rushing yards for the St. John Bosco Braves.
Yeah, it's been all run game for the Braves. Kahuku has had some rushing yards, but they've been negated by the tackles for loss, the sacks of the front of the St. John Bosco. 278-76 in the first half. The Braves dominating.
Check in with Anna, who's with Sterling Carvalho. Anna.
Coach, what sort of offensive adjustments do you make? How do you put some points on the board?
You know, for us, we just got to execute. You know, we saw some mistakes that we made on both sides of the ball, but especially offensively, we just got to make sure we hit our reads, make our blocks. So, you know, we won away. We just got to make sure we execute.
You guys are fierce competitors, so I'm sure you didn't have to say much, but what did you say to your team in the locker room?
I mean, we came all this way. We wanted this all off season, so we better not go out like this. So we just got to finish, right? This is what we train for, so we just got to come out and fight.
Let's go. I'm fired up, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Anna and Sterling. As we check out the first half highlights, Sterling told us on our call this week, we don't want to get into a track meet with these guys, but they've been unable to stop the run.
Well, that's the thing. We mentioned it. It's just been that push up front by the Bosco front. They had the interception on the back end, just couldn't capitalize on that turnover. And they haven't been able to slow down these three running backs for Bosco, and Cameron Jones, Chauncey Sylvester, and Khalil Warren. They've had opportunities offensively. They've been able to move the ball. But as Coach Carvalho just said, they haven't been able to finish the drives. Great scheming by Stephen Lowe and Jason Negro for St. John Bosco, but do not count them out. They are a no-quit team. They're not going to give up in the second half. They got hit in the mouth in the first half. Now, let's not get it wrong, but expect Kahuku to get back up. They're not going to go down without a fight.
Kahuku had the football 5 times in the first half. 3 of those 5 drives ended on a 3-and-out with a punt. And then at the end of the half there, they marched the ball toward midfield into St. John Bosco territory, but ran out of time. And the Braves are going to get it first because, remember, they won the toss and deferred to the second half.
Yep.
So the Red Raiders defense has been on the field quite a bit and, again, have to figure out a way to stop this stable of running backs for St. John Bosco, whether it's Chauncey Sylvester, Cameron Jones with a C, or Khalil Warren, or even quarterback Pierce Clarkson, who's been able to get whatever he wants to get on the ground.
Yeah, and speaking of quarterbacks, a great shot by our Bally camera crew, just getting Micah Crawford, the quarterback for Kahuku. He's smiling, right? He's not panicking. All right, they just need to give him some time. I think they need to roll the pocket a little bit more because of that front and the pressure that Bosco is bringing. Get some guys out in space and give him the pass run option. He's just such a great athlete. If you're not going to roll the pocket, you got to stay with that quick passing game that they did at the end of the first half, getting it out of Crawford's hands quickly.
First kickoff of the game for Kahuku and Brock Fanoy Moana, and he kicks it out of bounds for a penalty at the 10-yard line. So this will give the Braves great starting field position here, and the problems compound here.
Kicking team place the ball at the 35-yard line.
Well, Fanoy Moana is a great safety. Make some noise on offense. I don't think he'll be kicking at Utah. No, that's not what Coach Carvalho wanted on that one. But you got to credit him so much, the love and care that he has for his team, his coaching staff. Again, it's about Ohana, it's family. The Kahuku stands are just as full as the Bosco stands here, so making the long trip to support their boys.
Drive starts at the 35-yard line. That's Sylvester in motion. They play action, a broken play here, and just throwing it as he gets outside the tackle box into the ground is Clarkson. Izzy Israel Pope was somewhere in the neighborhood.
Yeah, he was out in the flat. Good job by Clarkson negating the 10 to 12-yard loss. Didn't get past the line of scrimmage, but again, he's outside of the tackle box, and that's one change in the rules this year. It's very similar to college. As long as you're outside of the box, and doesn't have to be a receiver in the area. As you mentioned, that time Polk was in the area.
It's just got to go past the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
And again, one of those changes they made back in January. Here's a run, and this is Sylvester, and he gets pulled down as he gains the 40-yard line. Again, the Braves ran for 202 yards in that first half. And this is a Kahuku defense that's only allowed 9 points per game. 21 points now is the most they've allowed in a game. They did give up 20 in a game earlier this year.
They played some good teams. Again, you mentioned Miliani, but no one to the level yet of St. John Bosco.
3rd and 5 in that first half. Bosco was 4 of 5 on third down conversions. And Clarkson gets rid of it quickly into the hands of Denham, and he's got a first down right at midfield.
So many wide receivers for Bosco. You mentioned DeAndre Moore, Jaleel McClain, Mateo, Cameron Jones, Max Stober was that catch tonight, and then Eric Denham has been affected not only in the pass game but in the return game.
First down from the 50. Clarkson, the Louisville-bound senior quarterback. Louisville, as they say, right? Play action.
Louisville.
Clarkson scrambling, takes off, gets caught from behind, and his progress still gains him 5 yards.
How about the defensive end? Hiram Morris coming from behind to catch Clarkson, the fast dual threat quarterback. You're going to see number 15.
A 252-pound junior partner.
Coming from the backside. Nice job by Clarkson to make a man miss up front, but even a better job by Moores to track Clarkson down from behind.
They usually just play 2 down linemen with their hands down. Stanley Ross, who's a BYU commit, and Howie Longi, who has multiple Division I offers. Here's a run. Breaking free is Sylvester, and Sylvester picks up the first down plus about 12 yards. Madden Soliai, the only freshman starter on varsity, brings him down.
You see the strength here. We've seen it from Cameron Jones, but Chauncey Sylvester, I mean, none of these Bosco running backs going down after first contact. And I think a big part of that is this team lists 4 days a week in season. So not only fast, but very strong.
Back on the ground, Cameron Jones after the 18-yard gain on the previous play by Sylvester. Just chewing up some clock, chewing up some real estate here against the second-ranked team in the state of Hawaii.
Not many times you see Kahuku on their heels getting pushed back. But again, the biggest front that they've played this year, and you got to credit this Bosco offensive line with how they played so far tonight.
Coming up on 9 minutes to go here in quarter number 3. Here's Cameron Jones, and Cameron Jones run for a first down to the 13-yard line. They usually don't give up a lot on the ground or through the air. The secondary hasn't allowed a 200-yard passer since Jaden DeLora in the 2019 season when he was at St. Louis High before he went to Washington State and has since transferred, now the starter at Arizona.
Yeah, and now Bosco back in the red zone. All touchdowns this season in the red zone. No field goals. 20 touchdowns. See if they can do it again.
Haven't attempted a field goal. Here's Jones looking to get in the end zone for the second time, and he's down to the 3-yard line. Cameron Jones scored on St. John Bosco's opening drive. I made it a 7-0 ball game. They scored 3 times on 4 drives, had the 1 turnover in the first half.
Viliamu Asa is back there as the H-back. Now Devin Bryant coming in the lineup, number 2 in that power set, 3-back set with Clarkson.
And they give it to Jones, and Jones fights his way to the goal line, and he's in. Touchdown. Second of the game for Cameron Jones, and just like that, Bosco gets the ball to open the third quarter and continues to put points on the board against Kahuku.
The Red Raiders defense has guys in position. Look, there's contact behind the line of scrimmage. Number 10, Leonga Leifau is there, but again, we just see the strength of Cameron Jones after contact.
28-0, 8:18 to go, third quarter of play. The number 1 team in the nation in command against Kahuku here on a Saturday night from Bellflower.
California.
Magical weekend.
I think that's a power up there from Kelly
Patterson.
The World Poker Tour is back. Top players from around the globe battle with millions on the line.
He got it.
The World Poker Tour. Watch all season long on Valley Sports. Kick off your weekend with college football on Valley Sports.
And it is caught.
Every week, the ACC is out to prove it's a conference to beat record.
Are you kidding me?
Top name school.
Into the end zone.
Premier talent.
My goodness.
And fierce rivalry.
It is caught.
Who doesn't have something to prove?
Touchdown.
ACC football all season long on Valley Sports and streaming on the Valley Sports app.
They're trying their best to call a fair and correct game.
Hey, and enough with all the swearing.
We should be able to hold our heads high after the match, win or lose.
St. John Bosco scored on all but one drive tonight. They lead it 28-0. Let's send it down on the field. Anna has a story about the lays the two coaches are wearing. Anna.
As you might have noticed, that both of the coaches are wearing lays tonight. I was talking to Kahuku head coach Sterling Carvalho about the lays, and he said it is a sign of welcome. It's a tradition for us Kahuku Red Raiders, and it quite literally represents Ohana. So he gave it to head coach Jason Negro for the Bosco Braves, saying, hey, welcome to our family.
Ooh, very nice gesture. Well, Sterling says he's got the deepest team that we've had on both sides of the ball. They're 5-0 coming in. They traveled a lot of folks. There's going to be a lot of open surfing spots on the North Shore. Remember, they draw from Kaloa Ranch, which is just south of Kahuku, all the way up to Sunset Beach and everything in between. And I had a chance to be there around Christmas last year. We were driving up from the Marine Corps base on the 83 up the west side of the island, and there was all billboards with all the kids. And they just won the championship. I didn't realize 3 days earlier, and that one is going to bounce out of bounds for a penalty. So how about that? The Braves give it right back at the 35-yard line. That is where the Red Raiders should take it. Here's Red Raider Nation. That's the campus. I mean, they've filled up the entire stands across the way. And I want to show you that. Even the horses get into it.
Oh, this Kahuku community loves their football program, loves this school. Polynesians, all about family and love, and that's something Jason Negro, we've done a lot of games here. Greg Biggins, we see Coach Negro wearing a lei often because of the Polynesian players that he has on this team at St. John Bosco. So Coach Negro and the staff, the Bosco community has so much love and respect for the Polynesian community. You know, more times than not, Coach Negro was wearing a lei here on the sidelines on Friday and Saturday nights.
I was blown away last Christmas break at the school spirit. I mean, it was something else.
Oh, yeah.
Crawford to throw on first down, and it's Carvalho with another catch. He's brought down by Tamal Johnson, who's in the star position, one of the many that the Braves rather can run out there on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, and I've been impressed with Mana Carvalho tonight, just stepping up again for his older brother. Kai out with that ankle injury, the defending Hawaii Player of the Year, Mariota Player of the Year, and he's having some surgery, the Utah commit, and hopefully they'll have him back for playoffs.
Direct snap right here. That's Finoti trying to get the edge. He puts his head down and takes a huge hit from Tamal Johnson. Oh, Finoti, you came in, 7 touchdowns, a junior. Look at the power here. No fear.
Yeah, he's lightning, but he brings the thunder on this one, putting his head down. And you mentioned Tamal Johnson coming in with the big hit stick. That's just two great high school football players competing, going after it. We talk about Clyde Taulapapa, thunder for this running back core, and then Malai Finoti, more of the shifty lightning back.
Runs it again, gets right to the first down make, and then meets Devin Bryant, the Washington commit.
They got a good spot. I think they'll have the first down. We see some new personnel grouping coming in for the Red Raiders.
You might recall the name Finoti. Tanio Finoti was a big offensive lineman that played at Kahuku his last 2 years after being at Oceanside. Went on to Nebraska and then became a Charger. He might have been in camp when you were in camp with the Chargers. I know you're probably not paying attention to everybody that's in camp, but it was early. It was like, you were in Charger camp, what about?
05.
05? Okay.
05.
Finoti was
I was just trying to compete with not only Phillip Rivers, but Drew Brees. So I wasn't really paying attention to any other personnel, but he might have been. I mean, a great player and a great coaching career.
That was their first third down conversion of the game. And here's a catch by Cash Caillo, the junior, with his first grab. Tanio was a coach here. I think he's coaching now in Utah after COVID almost. I mean, COVID really disrupted high school football,
especially in
the
Hawaii.
state of Hawaii. Yeah, they lost a lot of players when they shut down. A lot of players went to play in Utah, who, by the way, didn't shut down during 2020. They were one of the only states playing. And that is Manulele Ayu, and that catch is enough for a first down at the 45-yard line.
Nice route by Manulele Ayu. Looks like he was going to go out, kind of chops down and breaks back in. Kind of a reverse whip route, and a nice ball from Vika Crawford. Really like him as a quarterback. He's got moxie, gets rid of the ball quick, he's accurate. It's really just been timing tonight
in that front of Bosco, disrupting the passing game for the Red Raiders.
1st and 10 at the 45 of the Braves. Crawford gets away from the pressure momentarily, and then it's Uyunglele who comes back to grab him and bring him down for a loss of 2. How about this 6'5", 267-pound senior? His brother's the starting quarterback, DJ, at Clemson, who played here, led him to a state championship in 2019.
Yeah, so versatile. Looked like he was inside, maybe at a 7 or 5 technique there. He's able to get off the block and then come from behind in pursuit to bring down Crawford. Again, we talk about so many things he can do, coming off the edge, inside, or dropping into coverage.
Direct snap back to Finotti, and he's going to run forward. A strong effort. It's going to get him 7 yards. On 2nd down, it's going to be 3rd and short. Much more manageable 3rd down here for the Red Raiders.
Well, we've talked about the 3 great running backs for Bosco, but also on the other side, we've seen more of Talapapa tonight, but now Malai Finotti getting in the mix. And Coach Stuart Carvalho, Coach Sterling's brother, the running back coach, dialing up his backs. Don't forget about Lamana Tapasoa as well.
That time he got dragged down about a yard shy of the 1st down by Mateo Uyunglele. So Finotti on the direct snap. Just converted the 3rd for a 1st a moment ago. It was just their first 3rd down conversion. They haven't had many 1st downs either in this game. And it's 4th and 1. Let's see what the Braves defense can do and what the Red Raider offense can do here.
That's where you get the poly power, power back set. Look at 4 3 power up backs. Wildcat direct snap.
On 4th and 1, and there's a penalty marker. Jerry Troutman is our referee. He wears the white hat.
Dead ball. False start.
Backbreaker for the Red Raiders. Movement up front. Back them up 5.
Yep. With all of those offensive linemen and all those people on the line, it was bound to happen that somebody would move, and it backs him up to a 4th down and long. So much for a manageable 4th and short.
And that's going to change the play call. That's going to change personnel for Kahuku. They go from a power set with 3 backs to now a 5 wide receiver empty set. Keep an eye on the left side of your screen with Carvalho.
On 4th down, let's see if the Braves bring the house. They rush for Crawford. Good strong throw, but he overthrows Brock Fanoy-Moana. Aaron Williams in coverage. And they're going to turn it over on downs here, their first drive of the 3rd quarter.
Had a chance on the outside, one-on-one. Unfortunately, Crawford just overshoots this one. They were looking for a back shoulder attempt with Fanoy-Moana, and just a little too tall for the Utah commit to climb the ladder and bail out his quarterback.
We were talking about DJ Uyunglele. Here he is as a Bosco Brave not too long ago. Getting it done here in a great game against Mater Dei. They've played him a couple of times each year. He was something else.
Yeah, we were there for that game. One of the best games in history in the comeback that Uyunglele led.
And a new quarterback is in, and it is Caleb Sanchez, 6'3" junior. And my partner here to my right actually coached this kid in middle school. So you know a little bit about Caleb Sanchez.
Yeah, I've had the pleasure to work with Caleb since his middle school days, and just so proud of him and what he's done, waiting his time. It's tough having to be patient. You mentioned a junior, but a big, strong, smart quarterback now getting his opportunity in the second half.
And he's had several opportunities this year. Throws on the run and connects with Max Stober, his 2nd catch of the game, and it goes for a 1st down.
The hands by Stober, 2 catches tonight. Probably the best tight end duo in the country with Mateo Uyunglele and Max Stober rotating in and out.
Caleb Sanchez came in 11 of 20. He's played in all 4 games now. 142 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and no interceptions.
Played well last week against Central Catholic as well up in Oregon.
They play Central Catholic out of Modesto next week, and he ducks the pressure. Look at Sanchez take off, and he gets met at the 40-yard line. Takes a big hit from the Texas-bound Leonga Leifau. That might smart for a second.
Well, he's a big guy, but he's got some athletic abilities. See him tuck in and run and get a nice gain. But a nice play by Leifau. That's a 4 open field tackle by number 10.
2nd and 4 here.
How far wide the receivers are spread to the field.
Coming up on 2 minutes to go. Here's Warren. Warren, part of that three-headed monster. Yep. You call it a four-headed monster that ran for 202 yards in the first half. They keep pouring it on here in the third quarter.
Makes it 3rd and 1.
Yeah, so many things that this Bosco offense can do. So many different looks. The power run game, the vertical horizontal pass game, again, play action, screen game, boot game. There's so many tools on the menu for offensive coordinator Stephen Lowe.
And here's a run. It's Chauncey Sylvester. Boy, to be so deep. And Sterling Carvalho knew this was going to be a tough game. He said, we don't want to get into a track meet with these guys.
Yeah.
They are so deep. We're basically playing, the same guys. Not a lot of two-way guys, but, not many backups. And, St. John Bosco can run in as many as 10 offensive linemen that they're comfortable with playing at all sorts of different positions. As you look at Sterling there, check the tape. First down and 10 coming up on a minute to go here in a swift-moving third quarter. Sanchez, play action. Pressure comes from the middle. He ducks it. He throws to a wide-open Tommy Maher. He's got a first down catch at the 12, and then he stumbles down to stop the play.
Well, here's the thing. You think you got a 28-point lead. You're just going to run it out, but you have to develop Sanchez if something could happen to Pierce Clarkson. You're about to start Trinity League play, so you've got to get him comfortable in the passing game. Nice job working the pocket, climbing the pocket, and then as pressure got to him, still getting it out on the edge to Tommy Maher.
Remember last year they rotated two quarterbacks. Caton Hauser now at Michigan State. He got some time earlier this season. Sylvester weaving his way through traffic. A couple of cutbacks, still on his feet. And he's going to be awfully close to another first down. I think this is going to set up a 1st and goal from around the 2-yard line here for the Braves.
And speaking of last year, I called the Bosco Servite game last year, and Clarkson got hurt in that game. He hurt his ankle. So, again, people say, why do you play two quarterbacks? I'd rather have two than just one, especially as you get into the hard Trinity League. It's better to have two than just one, and something should happen to Clarkson.
Sylvester into the pile, and they're going to deny him the goal line. He's down at the 1, and that should be the final play of the third quarter. Swift-moving third quarter that saw Kahuku get only one drive in the game, or in the quarter rather, and turn it over on downs. And so when we come back, it'll be 2nd and goal from the 1-yard line for the #1 team in the nation, who's having their way with the ground game today against Kahuku. 28-0 Braves.
After you joined our family, it was like, I really do feel complete now.
Kick off your weekend with college football on Valley Sports. ACC football all season long on Valley Sports and streaming on the Valley Sports app.
Magical weekend for Casey Patterson and Chase Budinger.
I think that's a power up there from Kelly.
Patterson is the man! We have over the top. They are the kings of the beach. And cheers to the champ.
It's been said that there's no place like home. And with the best homegrown talent,
We bring in our front office insider, Steve Phillips, Pat Garrity. We got Josh Cribbs.
Chip Carey.
Let's get right into it.
covering the biggest sports stories in your hometown, The Rally is your home for all you need to know.
Really quick, is he the rookie of the year?
Yes.
Didn't even.
Yes.
That is my question.
About everything happening in sports.
This is what I enjoy, Russ. This is what I enjoy.
The Rally. There's no place like home.
After you joined our family, it was like, I really do feel complete now.
Being prepared is a part of who you are, but it's especially important in the case of a disaster. Be informed about possible emergencies in your area. Make a plan that covers where you go in an emergency. Build a kit with the things you need to survive.
Number 1 in the nation, St. John Bosco, starting this fourth quarter with a 28-0 lead over Kahuku, the Red Raiders, the defending Open Division state champs from Hawaii. And Bosco knocking on the door again, a 2nd and goal. They'll call it from the about yard-and-a-half line, the 2, we'll say. Looking for their 4th rushing touchdown of the game. Sanchez, the backup, in. Late substitution comes, and they give it to Sylvester, and Sylvester is in for the 4th rushing touchdown of this game for St. John Bosco.
Well, and Kahuku was still running a man on the field coming out of the corner. They didn't have all their personnel in, not able to get set. And you get another push up front by the offensive lineman of St. John Bosco, and Chauncey Sylvester able to make one move. You see the power, able to get into the party box.
Cameron Jones has been in twice on the rush. Sylvester now in. You might recall on that reverse earlier in the second quarter, DeAndre Moore got in. And that's the first missed PAT of the season for Marcus Lee, who'd been a perfect 23 for 23. Let's check in now with Anna. Anna.
Secret that St. John Bosco is a high school football powerhouse, but the numbers don't lie. Now, about 70 St. John Bosco Brave alumni are currently on NC2A rosters, most notably DJ Uyunglele and Bo Collins at Clemson. And then, of course, Court Williams at Ohio State was voted captain for the Buckeyes this year. But let's focus on 2 guys, Rayshawn Luke and Caton Hauser. They were on this team, on this field a year ago, and they weren't starters, so to say. They switched times. Rayshawn Luke rotated in and out with Michael Hayes, who's at Cerritos College, and then Jabari Bates, who's at San Jose State. And Caton Hauser rotated with Pierce Clarkson, now Braves quarterback. It speaks, Steve, to the Bosco culture that Jason Negro has instilled, that Bosco brotherhood that Steve really emphasizes, putting the team above yourself.
Wow. I mean, look at that. We talk about depth, and a great point. Guys weren't even starters last year, and they're not only in college, but they're playing. Caton Hauser already getting reps at Michigan State. Rayshawn Luke already at my partner Steve Quist's favorite team, Arizona alum for the Wildcats. So just, again, what a machine that Coach Negro and his staff has built here, not just only as football players, but young men now excelling in college.
Well, this Trinity League has helped to make the cupboards not bare at Arizona anymore, and a lot of other Pac-12 schools.
Right, your Servite boys, Fafita.
That's returnable, and a little trickery there. That was Ayu to Carvalho, and there's a penalty marker down about the 12-yard line. That ball gets out to the 17 for all that effort.
How are those Friars doing at Arizona? Noah Fafita, T-Mac, Tetsuo McMillan.
T-Mac got a touchdown reception in that very first game against San Diego State. I was right in front of it. I recorded it.
Let's go. That's the thing. These players don't only go to college, you know, and wait a few years. These guys are playing as true freshmen. I mean, they're so college ready when they come out of these schools, out of the Trinity League, Bosco, Mater Dei, Servite, Santa Margarita, J. Sarah. So, again, I think the best coaching staffs in the country come from the best league, perennially, the Trinity League here in the CIF Southern section.
Block in the back on that return, backs it up half the distance to the goal. So the drive's going to start at the 5.5-yard line here for Micah Crawford. With that touchdown to the missed extra point, St. John Bosco has outscored opponents 177-21 through 3+ games.
Wow.
That is remarkable. That's why they are number 1. There's a connection to Manu Lele Ayu. He's got a first down up near the 25-yard line. Peyton Woodyard, the son of a distinguished LAPD deputy chief. Gerald Woodyard, who commands the South Bureau. Thank you for your service, sir. And your son recently visited Oregon and Ohio State, so you got a good one there.
Yeah, and Woodyard reminds me of some former Bosco greats. Stephen Blaylock, Jaden Woodby, who went to Florida State. I wasn't happy when he left and went to Boston College, but just great in that mold of former great safeties here at Bosco.
Pickup of 18 on the last play, and there's a catch. And it is Carvalho again. Marcellus Williams with the stop in coverage. I'm impressed with this kid. I mean, his older brother, who's coming back, will be back from having screws placed in his ankle during surgery, who's going to Utah. In a couple of years, this is going to be a Pac-12 kid, too.
Yeah, Coach Carvalho told us during the week that they're really hoping that they get Kai back for the playoffs. The defending Hawaii Player of the Year. They missed him tonight, and hopefully he can make it back in time for their playoff run.
Although we hope UH gets a couple of these kids too, right, as they try to rebuild that program with a new stadium coming. Here's a keeper,
the Brotherhood.
Crawford. And then Crawford, he got hammered. I think that was Viliamu-Asu who laid a hit on him, number 27, who scored a touchdown, coming back from the knee surgery where he missed last season after being a contributor as a freshman.
It's the things people don't realize, especially if you haven't played football at any level, even the high school level, is what a physical toll it is, especially at this level. The impact, the hits, the speed. You know, it's a violent game, and when you have these kids who get injuries and able to fight back, not just physically but mentally and emotionally, that's why you credit Kingston, Viliamu-Asa, and again, prayers up for Kai Carvalho, and hopefully he'll make it back.
Direct snap, Finoti again, and then hands it off on a reverse. Carvalho, and he's got enough for the first down. They convert just their second first down in 7 opportunities tonight, and then he is slow to get up.
That's a cramp. You see his teammate Camilo Ross helping getting him a stretch before the training staff gets there. And the first staff to get there is the Bosco training staff. A great job here by Melody Mohebi and Christian Knighton, head athletic trainers here at St. John Bosco. One of the best in the CIF Southern section, helping these boys stay healthy. They were first on the scene, and now you see Kahuku's athletic training staff out. And again, when you see those legs straight up and the toes bent back, that's usually a calf cramp that a player has.
See it a lot in August as the seasons begin to start earlier and earlier every year. You see it a lot in September, especially out here in Southern California. It can get hot, and even in October when we start getting the Santa Anas.
And when you got guys going both ways, like a lot of the players for Kahuku have done tonight, those cramps are going to come.
Here's next week's schedule in our game of the week. Mission Viejo at Lusinger. And the Olympians will be looking for their first win of the year. And then in prep zone, San Clemente against Murrieta Valley, and then Vista Murrieta against Rancho Cucamonga. You have any idea where you're at?
I'll be at Vista Murrieta, Rancho Cucamonga. Our teammate Tony Moskal will be down at Murrieta Valley for San Clemente. And yeah, Lusinger, they played a tough schedule. They lost to a very good Bishop Vermont team last night. So as you mentioned, trying to get their first win, and doesn't get any easier with the number 5 ranked team. Chad Johnson, former Bosco offensive coordinator here, and his Diablos.
Mission Viejo started their season on the island, defeating Miliani. Now they're stretching out so we've had dual stretches here. Like you've gone and seen dual piano guys, right? Now we've got dual stretches because they got Carvalho up and off the field and stretched out, but now it is a Bosco player who needs attention around the 33-yard line.
Well, you don't know the physical toll that these games take. The intensity, the speed, it's still hot. Again, we mentioned guys going both ways. You know, the hydration, the potassium, and both these programs do a very good job as far as player care, the nutrition. I mean, both of these programs, Steve, are run like college programs with the strength training program, the care, the prehab, the rehab. You know, that prehab before the injuries happen, and taking care of your body, the rehabilitation after injuries happen. But again, these are big, fast high school student athletes that put a lot on their bodies. So when you're in these kind of street fights, going both ways, the tempo, the amount of talent and the strength and speed that's on the field, you're going to have these cramps. But we'll take those over major injuries any day.
That's Vaca Amasio Hansen. You might recall that name. He's a senior. Last year, he won on this field as a member of the Servite Friars in the semifinal game. And then he transferred to Los Al briefly, and at the end of the summer decided to come here to Bosco. And he's a senior with 3 sacks and even an interception. He picked off a screen pass earlier this season. I don't recall exactly what game that was in, but he nearly returned it for a touchdown. So he leaves momentarily. First down and 10. Crawford back in. Pressure comes from the edge. Crawford ducks it momentarily and then is able to dive forward for 3 yards. Max Amasio, a sophomore, makes his 8th tackle of the season.
Wow, you see the speed that time of Vaca Crawford. You thought he was going to be tackled in the backfield. You had Sir Tyler Williams and also Mateo breathing down his neck. He just shifts, climbs the pocket, and is able to pick up positive yardage.
Yep, Sterling Carvalho says he's very athletic, one of our most athletic guys. We're just trying to keep him in the pocket this year. It's his first year as the starting quarterback, and not his team last year. It is now. 2nd and long, gets rid of it quickly right into the arms of Ayu. Manu Lele Ayu, the junior, came in as their leading receiver. 15 catches, 180 yards and a touchdown. Peyton Woodyard, another stop.
A really good job by this secondary tonight, rotating a lot of guys in, bending at times but not breaking, giving up the big play in any points to Kahuku. You got to credit cornerback coaches Darnell Lacey, John Hall, the job they do with all these talented backs, rotating guys in, nickel coverage, again with 5 defensive back, dime coverage with 6 defensive backs. And this is a dynamic receiving core, and they haven't given up the big one so far tonight.
Trying to convert a second 3rd down on this drive, which would be just their 3rd of the game. 3rd and 2. Plenty of time, and the receiver just didn't turn around in time. The target was Manu Lele Ayu, and it's going to be 4th down now. Clock stops with just over 8 minutes to go.
Well, wasn't sure if he was throwing the slant to Cash Caillo or if he was throwing it out in the flat to Manu Lele Ayu.
And that's happened a couple times tonight, right?
Yeah.
You've mentioned that a few times. So they'll go for it here on 4th down. Trailing St. John Bosco 34-0. The Braves next week against Central Catholic of Modesto on this field, their 2nd home game of the year. And then Trinity League play starts on September 30th. They'll be on the road for the first 2 games, Servite and at Mater Dei. We're going to have that game at Mater Dei, and it was announced this week it will not be at SoFi Stadium. Instead, Mater Dei elects to take the home field advantage at the Santa Ana Bowl, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
4 wide receivers to the top, single into the boundary.
Get your tickets early on 4th down, and they connect there for a catch. And it is the Texas-bound linebacker, Leonga Leifau, who comes in. You saw him at the end of the first half on offense.
Yep. Hey, on 4th down, when in doubt, go to the alpha, right? The guy you can depend on, one of the emotional leaders for your team, not only on defense but offense. They put him in the slot, little spot route, uses his body control. Good timing and accurate ball from Crawford.
1st and 10 at their own 49-yard line. You know, without depth, too, we told you that really the state's rounding back into high school football shape after COVID.
Yeah.
Throw high, and it nearly got picked off by Aaron Williams. Looking for Brock Fanoy-Moana. And Williams nearly had what would have been his first interception of the year.
And just like the one we saw, Clarkson had to adjust based on coverage earlier. That's what Crawford had to do there. It would have been an easy pitch and catch in the slant, but Jordan Lockhart, the outside linebacker, dropped into coverage, so he had to throw it outside of Lockhart, and that's why it was high and behind his intended receiver. So, again, good recognition from the quarterback in Crawford, not throwing it to Lockhart, dropping into coverage, but affected the accuracy of the ball and couldn't get pulled in.
Crawford hasn't been bad. 16 of 23, 124 yards. Throws it just a rocket out to Carvalho, and it's incomplete. That's a tough one to catch. It looked like a Chris Ricks pass in Florida State 3 years in.
Well, he kind of sidearm slung it, kind of Patrick Mahomes, and when he dropped his elbow, the ball went low to high, and I think was higher than Carvalho expected it to be.
3rd and long now. We were talking about the state rounding back into shape. Last season, they had a modified full season in 2021. They didn't start playing games because of COVID until October, and they ended. The championship game was December the 23rd, 2 days before Christmas. Normally, they'd start right in August.
We were already done here with state at that time.
Exactly. There were so many regulations. We were back there at Christmas, too. You had to show your Vax card everywhere you went.
Sure.
And they were really, I mean, everywhere. They were very stringent. And high school football took the brunt of it. A lot of players left to go to Utah, as we mentioned. Crawford, got a great block. Still manages to throw downfield, incomplete. Looking for Manu Lele Ayu. There are no flags on the field. What a great block there to spring Crawford an extra second or two.
There was a lot of traffic. He had 2 receivers in the same area and also 2 defensive backs. Nice bail move by Crawford to escape pressure, sets his feet. He's trying to hit the corner out, and Ayu takes a big hit on the back end there from Marcus Williams. Ayu slow to get up.
Yeah. So it's going to be 4th down and 10 now. The fans across thought there was some early contact. Might have been a pass interference. They didn't get it. This will be the 11th play of the drive here coming up. And when you get a sustained drive like that, and you had one in the first half coming off of sudden change, you hope you can do a little bit better and get some points here. And they've got a 4th down and 10 now at their own 49-yard line.
Again, talking about this Chris King defense for St. John Bosco. Done a tremendous job tonight. They've bent at times, but they haven't given up the big play, let alone any points. And this is one of the best offenses in the country. So we mentioned that depth, them flying around, the playmaking ability for the Braves.
How about this? This is their 12th play, and they haven't reached the 50 yet, and that's incomplete. And they're going to turn it over on downs. So you have a 12-play drive that doesn't even get into St. John Bosco territory. Wow. Been that kind of a night for Sterling Carvalho's team.
Magical weekend.
I think that's a power up there from Kelly Patterson.
The most prestigious poker tour is back.
He puts him on a strong hand, he's going to fold it.
The World Poker Tour. Watch all season long as top players from around the globe battle in pulse-pounding poker action. All season long on Bally Sports. Kick off your weekend with college football on Bally Sports. ACC football all season long on Bally Sports and streaming on the Bally Sports app.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Bosco's been on the big stage all season. It began August the 26th at Eagle Stadium, Allen, Texas. That was a $60 million stadium that seats 16,000. They beat Allen, Texas 54-14. Then September the 9th, Autzen Stadium, Eugene, Oregon, home of the Ducks. They shut out Portland Catholic, the defending 6A champs in Oregon, 49-0. Then a chance to perhaps play at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena this November, celebrating its 100th anniversary. The historic venue is going to host the 2022 CIF Southern Section Division I championship game on the 25th. And who's number one? This is, you know, it's like polling as we come up to the November midterms, right? It's like, is somebody up 2 points, down 3 points? Who knows?
Yeah, look at all the different rankings, either 1 or 2, and what a treat. Hey, we'll be in for in a few weeks to find out on the Bally Sports Game of the Week between the Braves and the Monarchs.
October the 7th down in Santa Ana. They're running it, and it's Khalil Warren here. And Warren is forward to the 45-yard line for a gain of 4.
Well, don't forget, Bosco also played in the tough confines of Kiefer Stadium at Bishop Amat a few weeks ago.
They did.
Had the privilege of playing there for 3 years. One of the best high school experiences on a Friday night. They got the in-and-out truck, and it's like a carnival there in La Puente at Bishop Amat. But a great job by the CIF Southern Section getting that game at the Rose Bowl for the championship this season. That's going to be a fun one.
Second straight drive for Caleb Sanchez, the backup. And they're running again, and it's Warren, and Warren right into the waiting arms of Leonard Ayu, the senior. He's got a Fresno State offer. He got that in early September. UH loves him. He's got some big upside to his number 12 in red.
Well, first ran up the back of Jalen Perkins. Good to see Perkins get back up. One of his offensive linemen.
One of the interchangeable. They could play as many as 10 tonight, they told us.
Yeah.
Third and short. Just over 6 minutes to play in this fourth quarter. Bosco looking for shutouts in back-to-back weeks. Play action roll right, incomplete, intended for Stober. He's been targeted 3 times, got a couple of catches, the big tight end.
Well, Sanchez had to get rid of that ball earlier than he wanted, yet pressure coming off that right edge from Kahuku. That was number 15 again, the defensive end, Hiram Moores. As soon as Sanchez flipped his head around on the bootleg, Moores was right there, so he had to throw it early and came up short looking for his tight end in Stober.
Who knew that St. John Bosco had a punter? So their first punt of the night here as we play with just over 6 minutes to go.
Well, Marcus Lee does it all.
Yes, he does.
He does all the kicking duties for the Braves.
Averages 40 yards a punt this season. That was one of their trouble spots last year. They had a hard time punting the ball. They had a hard time snapping back to the punter, but they've cleaned that up. He gets that one right at the belt and boots it away. Fair catch signaled for by Carvalho, and then he picks it up, but you can't do that.
Well, he tried to get away from it, and the ball bounced right to him. I credit the young man for trying to make something happen. Hey, maybe they didn't see my hand for the fair catch. I'm going to try to get some yards on this thing. I mean, tremendous heart tonight from number 2, Mana Carvalho, the coach's son.
I know they have an afternoon flight out of L.A., and he's going to sleep well. He's got 8 catches for 66 yards, got some rushes, done everything. While his brother is out, Kai, the Utah-bound senior, got injured, had ankle surgery. I thought Sterling said he had 2.5 screws in, but today while I was looking at my stuff, I go, how do you have a half screw in your ankle?
Wow. Yeah, kid is tough, and again, you hope that he heals quickly so he can make it back in time for their playoff run, because his brothers missed him tonight, and a huge loss for Kahuku coming into this ball game.
Reigning Hawaii Offensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
Drive starts back at the 10-yard line. And a connection there to Finoti. Finoti, rather, the junior.
And you've got to credit Coach Carvalho and his staff for coming and playing this game. I mean, making the trip, playing the #1 team in the country. You know, they're a smaller public school. They really just get players from their community, and not defending them by any chance, but again, you got to give them credit. Not a lot of people would come play St. John Bosco if they weren't in the Trinity League, not on their schedule. Come and play them in this stadium. So a lot of credit and respect for Coach Carvalho and the Kahuku community.
Yeah, they were supposed to come here a few years ago and didn't because of COVID.
Yes.
One year I think they couldn't come because high school football was shut down. Crawford, and a catch, but nothing there. Gets dumped by Max Amacio. And that was Manu Lele Ayu. And so a pass complete for a loss, and it brings up 3rd and long.
And something else that this front for Bosco, the defensive linemen, they do so well is shedding blocks, getting off tackles. Amacio just threw the blocker off and is able to get the big tackle. Got to credit the D-line coaches, Paul Diaz, Mai Tui, and the job they do with these young men. Technique, and it's not just the physical ability, Steve, it's the coaching and the technique that these guys get. It's next level. It's the little things, the details that make the Boscos, the Mater Deis, and a lot of teams so good on top of their physical ability.
Crawford gets rid of it quickly. Finoti has it, getting some blockers in front of him. Fights his way to about the 15-yard line, out of bounds. Going to bring up a 4th and roughly 5 here. And it looks like they're going to send out the punting unit right here with 4:14 to go. And so if they punt this football away, they will on 8 drives, have turned it over on downs twice, punted 5 times, and had the ball at the end of the first half. So it has been a rough night for the offense here for Kahuku. And we told you coming in, they averaged 38 points per game, 321 yards against their first 5 opponents from the state of Hawaii.
Welcome the Brave Nation.
Yeah.
It's a story with most teams this season, and the pattern continues with Bosco opponents.
Well, they were here last in the mainland as Carvalho on the fake punt connects. Can they get enough for the first down? I think they did. Wow. How about that? That's going to go to Keone Pu'uahi McPherson, the senior.
Nice.
You're saying nice that I might have got that right, or nice that he got the first down?
That's what I was saying. Right? I was saying nice. You've been money on all the pronunciations of our Poly players tonight.
All right, so 8 drives. This one's going to continue as they get the first down on the fake punts.
Caught Bosco sleeping a little bit on the edge. Able to convert that fake punt for the first down. Another empty set, 5 wide receivers, 3 to the field, 2 into the boundary for the Red Raiders.
Empty backfield now on a 1st down and 10, trailing 34-0. Crawford throws the under route. He's got the Texas-bound Leifau again. He takes a big hit. Hunter Noel, a senior who's a San Jose State commit, makes the stop.
Yeah. Jason Froster Ramos out on the edge, right here, left to right, just lowers a shoulder. Really like Froster Ramos on tape, reads and reacts very well, especially in the screen game. Had a nice play versus Central Catholic last week. I mean, there's just defensive backs all over the field for Bosco.
Yeah.
If you look at our charts tonight, folks.
Well, the whole defense, the first teamers are all CIF players. Second team guys are all Trinity League type players. And third string guys could tear apart the Freeway League. There's a big catch by Carvalho for a first down. He absorbs big contact. They're into Braves territory. That's his 9th catch of the night.
That's a man right there at receiver. Felt Ty Lee coming down, still went up, made the catch, able to break the tackle, and then takes a big hit from behind on the back end. Gosh, you can't say enough about the heart of Mana Carvalho, how he's played tonight.
He first got hit by Ty Lee, and then Sir Tyler Thomas, the junior, who would be like one of those, third string guys that could tear apart one of the local public leagues here, comes in and lays a big hit. Gain of 22. A first down at the Braves 48-yard line, 2:45 to go and counting here.
Young receivers, you know you're going to get hit. Make the catch anyway. Great job by Mana.
Bosco has scored on all but 2 drives in this game. They punted once, and it's Carvalho again. Sir Tyler Thomas finally bringing him down again, right around the 30-yard line. So maybe they got something cooking here and can leave with a little momentum heading back to Oahu.
Man, just a little horizontal route on the outside. Look at number 2, Mana Carvalho, explosive. Not very many receivers get by Bosco defensive backs. Keep giving it to number 2 until they stop him.
Pickup of 18. They've had a few big plays in this one. Crawford sets, throws, catch made, and a touchdown. They finally get on the board. Aiden Manutai. How about that? He's their starting cornerback. We saw him a little bit on offense at the end of the first half.
Yeah.
And finally gets him on the board here. Crawford's first touchdown throw of the night.
Well, a nice call by Sterling and Stuart Carvalho, the brothers who run this offense. Now they use Carvalho, their son, as a decoy. They put him on the right side. Little pump fake from Crawford. That gets the defense to come up. And then Manutai is able to slip behind on the field post.
Manutai is just a sophomore. Extra point on its way, and it's good by the sophomore, Zayden Maritarangi.
Take a look. He's out in the flat. Just a little pump, gets the defense to come up, and then Manutai is able to slip behind on the post, makes a man miss on the back end. And as you mentioned, Red Raiders got some life here.
8 plays, 89 yards, 353. You remember the fake punt, right? It looked like they were going to punt for the 5th time in this game.
Yep.
They convert the fake punt, and Crawford throws his 8th touchdown of the season against no picks. There's a lot of things to build on for Kahuku as they head back to the islands.
And that's something you see very often from Peyton Woodyard. He was on the back end there, and Manutai got the best of him on that move.
Just the 4th touchdown that the Braves have given up this season. Allen got 2 touchdowns in the first game. Bishop Amat got a touchdown in the second game. Central Catholic shut out last week, and it was trending toward another Brave shutout until right there. Crawford connecting with Manutai. And there's they're not really playing the tough country football that they thought tonight. They're getting into a little West Coast offense, but I'm sure the folks watching tonight at the Kava Bar in Kahuku, whoever's left over there, I'm not sure how many people are left in the city limits there.
Yeah, and you gotta love looking at the Kahuku crowd right now. Capacity crowd, and they're still on their feet, cheering loud, their boys. Again, such a family community, a lot of love. We mentioned Ohana and family, and that's what it's all about in the Polynesian community, and especially here at Kahuku.
And there's a little onside kick that's going to wind up going backwards.
I told you Brock's not going to be kicking at Utah, right?
Yes. I don't know if I've ever seen that before.
It was like between an onside and a pooch, but it only went about 6 yards.
Yeah. Trying to figure out how to call that and combine the 2 words. They wanted the pooch kick, and I don't know how that thing checked up and bounced backwards. So great starting field position at the 39-yard line. The fans across the way, the gates opened up at 6. They were tailgating in the parking lot and across the street.
Yeah.
They had to have brought at least 3,000 people.
Dude, they had their own merchandise here. I mean, they had a huge shop selling Kahuku gear like it was a home game.
And we got another running back in there now in the ball game for St. John Bosco. It's going to be Gabe Birch with his first carry as a senior.
How about Viliamo Toilolo with the aggressive tackle there for Kahuku?
Viliamo Toilolo on the tackle. 1 yard gain.
We talk about the atmosphere. A great job by Bosco tonight, and Jesse Christensen for St. John Bosco, the director of football ops. I mean, the pregame, the lights, the smoke. It really is a college atmosphere here. The music tonight. I mean, you're not going to get much more buzz and energy in a high school football stadium than we've seen here tonight at St. John Bosco.
Well, and they've got another big one coming up against Central Catholic of Modesto. That was one of those teams a few years ago that would win a state championship at the lower levels. Has moved up. And they're going to end the year with the 3 home games in the conference in the league. J. Sarah, Orange Lutheran, Santa Margarita. All right, Cameron Jones. This rushing attack, 202 yards rushing in the first half alone. Jones got in the end zone a couple of times in this game.
Yeah, it's all started up front with Lutke in the offensive line, pulling guards, getting a push up front, and giving a lot of space for their running backs to look good tonight. You got to credit the backs as well, but it's all started up front for Bosco.
4 rushing touchdowns. This is Warren. He's a junior. Well, maybe it's not Warren. It's Aiden Scott, rather. 34, not 24. Beg your pardon. So Jason Negro getting a lot of guys in here. I mean, even further down on the depth chart. That's great. I love it as we get inside of 2 minutes to go.
I still can't believe this is the same real estate that I played on in high school. And Bishop would play St. John Bosco in the old Delray League back in 97, 98, and then 99, my senior year at Santa Margarita. It was just a dirt field. And the biggest thing I remember, though, them being the Braves, and you see the helmets reminiscent of Florida State, they used to have a guy on a horse here come out with a spear and throw it into midfield. It was awesome. But I don't think that spear will stick in the turf here, so they don't have that tradition anymore. But they've always had a great atmosphere here. It's just crazy to see in 20 years it go from kind of an old dirt field to, gosh, this stadium here at Panish Family Stadium that they built. I mean, just for football, no other sports play here. I mean, one of the greatest venues in all of America for high school football.
Ryan Simeon now is in at the tailback spot. He'll probably get a carry. They'll have as many as 4 or 5 guys when it's all said and done. Maybe make a carry, and Sanchez almost completed that to himself as the pressure came from the edge from Hiron Moore as he got through, batted it down. And so brings up 4th down.
Yeah, they try the bootleg again. They try to leak Max Stober out in the flat, but Moores reads it. He did it earlier in the face of Sanchez. This time bats it down. You mentioned Caleb Sanchez almost caught it that time, but better that it would fall incomplete.
Simeon stays in at the tailback spot on 4th down. They got a nice picture of the old stadium below us in the skyboxes, if you will.
The suites.
Yep. Programs come really a long way. Throw left, and that's a 1st down catch. Tommy Maher, and move those chains. Inside of 2 minutes to go. Yeah, it wasn't too long, about 15 years ago. They lost to my Fullerton Indians in a non-conference game to St. John Bosco. Now, I don't know if I'd want to see that matchup today.
I mean, St. John Bosco has always been competitive, right? But Jason Negro and this staff in the past 13 years has just taken it to a completely different level. The best way I can sum it up, I mentioned earlier, he's just built a machine here at Bosco.
They're going to take a knee here on 1st down and 10. And Sanchez goes down. Clock will roll to about 90 seconds here shortly left in this one. And
classy move by Jason Negro and the staff here at Bosco.
Braves will be 4-0. They'll now have outscored opponents after this game 177-28 through 4 games. And for the Red Raiders, they'll exit the mainland with a 5-1 record.
Yeah, it's what you call victory formation, what every coach wants to see his offense do at the end of a game. Get everyone bunched in case there's a miss snap and take it, or just like that.
Yes. Yeah, take a couple of knees there. Coming up on a minute to go. Kahuku got here, arrived 6 a.m. on Wednesday, so an overnight flight from the islands.
Unfortunately for Daniel Odom, number 21, he's going to have a negative rush yard for doing his job and picking up the bad snap.
Red Raiders had a UCLA visit when they got in on Wednesday, practiced here Thursday and Friday at St. John Bosco, and then yesterday were in attendance for the Mater Dei Liani game.
And they're still going to compete for a Hawaii state championship.
Yeah.
This isn't the last you've seen of the Kahuku Red Raiders.
And so that's going to do it. The home opener is won by the #1 team in the country. St. John Bosco gets it done against Kahuku 34-7 behind 4 rushing touchdowns. Red Raiders didn't turn it over in the game. The only turnover belonging to Jason Negro's team. And they'll have Central Catholic next week right here on this field for home game number 2 before Trinity League play starts. What'd you think? Just a very workmanlike effort here tonight. It's just like run the ball, take what they give you.
Yeah, I mean, a complete team victory for St. John Bosco. Offense, defense, special teams got involved. I had them winning this game, but I didn't think it would be by this margin. So very impressed with the Braves tonight over one of the best teams in the nation.
All right, let's send it down to Anna, who's got our Gary Paskowitz player of the game. Anna.
Hey, Gary Paskowitz player of the game. Cam Jones running back for St. John Bosco Braves. No, Cam, this was your first home game of the season. Sometimes during this game, it felt like Kahuku had the home field advantage. How were you able to feed off of this energy?
It was great. Everybody, they played excellent. It was like, I just transferred there, so it was the first time seeing all this blackout. It was excellent. I like it. I liked it very much.
Now you're rotating with other running backs. How do you maintain focus throughout the game?
The focus is easy because we have 3 different sets of backs. We have fast, we have downhill, we have power. So first, when we started off here, we wanted speed, so we put Chauncey in. And we came off of that, seeing how they played, and then we just played off of how they feeling.
Hey, and then you put some points on the board. Now, you just mentioned your transfer. You transferred from Centennial out in Corona, where you guys came up short last year in the semifinals against Mater Dei. How focused is this team against that revenge game, we'll say, for you personally, in 2 weeks opening Trinity League play October 7th against Mater Dei?
We're very focused. That's the main game this year. We are ready for this. We practicing every day. We practice for them. It's going to be a good season. We can't wait until that game.
Let's go. Thank you, Cam, and congratulations. Great game.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Cam. Thanks, Anna. We got our 4 best accountants trying to break down all the numbers on this one. Join us on the post-game show. We'll break it down. The perfect season continues for #1 ranked St. John Bosco. See you on the flip side.
Magical weekend for Casey Patterson and Chase Budinger.
I think that the power up there from Kelly Patterson is the man.
Give over the top. They are the kings of the beach. And cheers to the champ.
The most prestigious poker tour is back.
He puts him on a strong hand, he's going to fold it.
The World Poker Tour. Watch all season long as top players from around the globe battle in pulse-pounding poker action. All season long on Bally Sports.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a 4th ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzz warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
The Bally Sports app has more live games every night than ever before.
How about that?
The action doesn't wait, neither can you. Stream your team fast for the biggest home runs.
Whatever it takes.
Pitching duels.
What was your mindset?
Walk-offs. Plus, get live pregame and postgame analysis, player interviews.
Let's go.
And so much more than just the score. The Bally Sports app. The game is on.
It's been said that there's no place like home. And with the best homegrown talent,
We bring in our front office insider, Steve Phillips, Pat Garrity. We got Josh Cribbs.
Chip Carey.
Let's get right into it.
Covering the biggest sports stories in your hometown,
Bring it.
to dinner. My mom's gonna kill me. Catch you guys later.
Mom wants us home.
Okay. Bye, guys.
You guys need a ride?
Sure. Yeah. All right. How about some one-on-one? I gotta go eat, man. Sorry, I'll see you later.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Magical weekend for Casey Patterson and Jake Budinger.
I think that's a power up there from Kelly. Patterson is the man! Give over the top. They are the Kings of the Beach. And cheers to the champ.
Well, there's the haka dance, and that thing's amazing. As a matter of fact, the 3,000 or so that came from the islands over here, they're back behind us singing. And you would never know they lost to the #1 team of the nation 34-7. Great effort by the Braves. Anna Conley is with St. John Bosco head coach Jason Negro.
Coach, this was a physical game, probably one of the more physical games we've played this season. How resilient is this team?
I thought we did a really good job tonight matching the physicality of Kahuku. They're an incredibly physical team. They're fast. They're very well coached, and they got a lot of pride on that side of the island. So just super happy to get out of this 100% healthy and on to the next week.
After tonight, after that late touchdown Kahuku scored in the fourth quarter, your defense has given up 28 points so far this season. Can this defense be stopped? You're shaking your head, but that's pretty good.
Well, it's actually only 21 because it was a scoop and score in Texas. So I'm really proud of the way that our defense is playing. They take a lot of pride in shutting down opponents' offenses. We got to get better, though. I mean, it's a process each and every week. We got to try to take one step better. And next week, we got a big challenge ahead of us to try to go 5-0 in the preseason.
You're going to get mad at me for this question, but next week, I know you got to get through next week, but then the week after that, you open Trinity League play against Mater Dei. How focused is this team heading into that game?
We're super focused. I mean, our ultimate first goal is to win, go 5-0 in the preseason. We're one step away from doing that, and then we'll check that box off. That's a phase of the season that we know we have to take care of first. Then we'll get into Trinity League, and we know what it's going to be like there. We open up with Servite, then we got Mater Dei, so it doesn't get any easier for us.
Thank you, Coach. Great game today.
All right, thanks, Anna.
All right, thanks, Jason. Thanks, Anna. As you see here, the fans have yet to leave right now. This has been phenomenal here, this postgame right here. You would think that we showed up, it was 6:30, and we still had an hour to go before kickoff.
I cannot believe the love, the energy that the Kahuku fan base is still bringing after the game. I'm not an empty seat in the stadium. They're doing the tomahawk chop. It sounds just as loud as Doak Campbell Stadium at Florida State. I mean, just cheering on these boys. As we mentioned, you didn't think that they lost the game because it's more than football for Kahuku. It's about family.
They gave up a lot of yards on the ground. That was really the story when we crunched the numbers. I mean, we saw it at halftime, right? 202 rushing yards for St. John Bosco, and they had, 3 different running backs, a stable. The one guy that stood out was the Centennial transfer in Cam Jones. It would be Cam with a C today here because there's 2 Camerons on this team.
Well, it all started with Mark Lutke up front, the center and the offensive line for St. John Bosco, paving the way for Cam Jones, for Khalil, for Sylvester up front. But Cam Jones, he was a standout tonight out of the 3 running backs. Never went down on first contact. great vision. You see making some of the best linebackers in the country miss and getting those yaks, yards after contact in the open field, in the red zone, goal line, and short yardage. That's why he was our Bally Sports Player of the Game.
Quite an effort. 4 rushing touchdowns in the game for the St. John Bosco Braves, and they win it. And they're still perfect on the season at 4-0. We'll take a break, come back with the continuation of the post-game show right after this.
California.
Magical weekend.
I think that's a power up there from Kelly Patterson.
When it comes to a lung cancer diagnosis, you need to know the facts. Fact, in the United States, over 25,000 black men and women are diagnosed with lung cancer each year. Fact, lung cancer continues to be the leading cause of cancer deaths among black men and women. Learn all that you can on lung cancer screening and clinical trials by visiting standuptocancer.org/lungcancer. Because fact, change is possible, and it starts with you. Fact, over 25,000 black people are diagnosed with lung cancer each year. Learn all that you can by visiting standuptocancer.org/lungcancer. Because fact, change is possible, and it starts with you.
It's been said that there's no place like home. And with the best homegrown talent,
we bring in our front office insider, Steve Phillips, Pat Garrity. We got Josh Cribbs.
Chip Carey.
Let's get right into it.
Covering the biggest sports stories in your hometown, The Rally is your home for all you need to know.
Really quick, is he the rookie of the year?
Yes.
Didn't even.
Yes.
That is my question.
About everything happening in sports.
This is what I enjoy, Russ. This is what I enjoy.
The Rally. There's no place like home.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed. If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Number 1 team in the nation, St. John Bosco Braves get it done 34-7. They improve now to 4-0 on the season. They've outscored opponents 177-28 through their first 4 games on the season. They're back on this field for Central Catholic out of Modesto next week. Let's talk about last night here on this field, part of the Trinity League versus the USA.
That's right, at Panish Family Stadium. It was Mater Dei taking on Miliani High, the other team from Hawaii. The Trojans scored first as they represented well Elijah Brown in the backfield, but then it was the Monarchs answering with 42 straight points, taking it to the crib for Mater Dei. And in second quarter, Miliani up 7-0. Jordan Davidson, 48-yard TD run. Elijah Brown, 8-yard TD pass to Jack Ressler. And Mater Dei woke up, came back. You see the big run here by Jordan Davison. 95-yard TD run. Elijah Brown, 190 yards, 2 TDs. Jordan Davison, 213 yards rushing. Mater Dei wins 42-14.
And Elijah Brown still unbeaten as a starter. How about on the prep zone, Orange Lutheran hosting Sherman Oaks, Notre Dame. Lancers in the red zone. TJ Lateef, 5-yard TD pass to AJ La. And Lou was up 7-0 in this game. They got a pretty good team there. This time, Lateef finds Ben Alafayo, 31 yards for the score, 14-0 in favor of Olu. And then Notre Dame cut the lead to 14-7. But when Lateef gets the ball to Jackson Wang out of the end zone, well, it turns out to be a safety. And the winning game on that one was the Lancers, 34-7.
And then Thursday night on the prep zone, I'm still catching my breath from this one, partner. Santa Margarita versus Los Alamitos. 7 lean changes in the first half. Santa Margarita quarterback Jackson Potter to Emmett Mosley, 63-yard touchdown. Potter, 479 yards, 5 TDs, and a rushing TD. Ensuing kickoff, Los Alamitos Makai Lemon, USC commit, 95-yard kickoff return to the house. That got Los Alamitos back in the game, and then later in the second quarter, Malachi Nelson to Lemon for a 65-yard TD. Nelson, 235 yards passing. Makai Lemon, 12 catches, 184 yards. Los Alamitos up 35-30 at the half. Opening play of the fourth quarter. Los Al running back Damian Henderson, 55-yard TD run. Henderson finished with 303 yards, 5 touchdowns, and Los Alamitos knocks off a Trinity lead opponent for the second week in a row. Last week, Servite, this week, Santa Margarita. Final score, 69-49.
All right, we're back to Friday on September the 23rd, 7:30 here on Bally Sports SoCal. It'll be Mission Viejo, the Diablos, ranked number 5 against the Lusinger Olympians in our prep zone games, which will start a half hour earlier at 7 p.m. We got some good ones for you as the fans here hug their favorite Red Raider player. And well, the Red Raiders, I thought, really came over with a lot of energy. This was going to be really tough with the depth that St. John Bosco has, going as many as, 3-4 deep at the cornerback spots. And the Red Raiders basically having to play 11 guys on each side of the ball.
And they didn't give up. I mean, they fought. Even without their best player in Kai Carvalho out of the ball game, they competed. As you mentioned, it was just a matter of depth. Bosco, they played nearly perfect in all 3 facets of the game: offense, defense, and special teams. And as I mentioned, they'll be competing for a state championship in Hawaii.
All right, let's look ahead to next week. And Lusinger is going to be looking for their first win of the season. The Olympians against Mission Viejo. That's going to be a really tough task.
Yeah, Lusinger has a lot of talent. They played a very tough schedule. It doesn't get any easier versus Mission Viejo. Chad Johnson, the former offensive coordinator here at St. John Bosco. Their quarterback, Caden Zamaza. They have a ton of weapons, does a Diablo. So Lusinger is going to have their work cut out for them. As we take a look at the aforementioned Caden Zamanza, I really like him. He's a dual threat guy, a great athlete, good vision, gets rid of the ball quick. We've seen him a lot over the past couple seasons in the prep zone, and he has a lot of weapons. They were in a shootout early this year against Long Beach Poly. The Jackrabbits came out on top in that game, and Mission Viejo really starting to find their rhythm now, especially offensively, and it's mainly due in parts of the quarterback in Samanza.
Yep. Last time I checked, he was headed to Ball State, play some football on the MAC, and it's weird because you think about him and Jackson Potter. It's not often in Southern California we see a kid go to UAB, right, to play in Conference USA, and then a kid go to Ball State. But hey, very cool.
Hey, I think the best quarterbacks in the country come from the CIF Southern section.
Yes, they do. We know that. Certainly. All right, it's been our pleasure serving you here tonight as the #1 team in the nation rolls to a 34-7 win over the defending state champs in Hawaii in Kahuku. 4 rushing touchdowns tonight for the Braves, who are on a roll. For our great crew, my partner Chris Ricks, Anna Conley, thanks for making us part of your Saturday night. We'll talk to you again next Friday from Mission Viejo and Lusinger. Until then, good night, everybody.
Those who know preparation, the analysis and engineering, the drive and the game, they also know the name. Those who know performance know AMD Ryzen.
Magical weekend.
I think that's a power up there from Kelly Patterson.
It's all in the cards.
Is it the right mathematical play?